out everybody today.
What?
I see that. I try to get him back in the show. There's
Yo, what's up? What's up? Going live soon here. Just gonna bring this up here. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing here? Should get some shouts. Going live soon
God
here.
damn it.
Just gonna bring this up here. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I do this every time. Maybe I'll learn one of these days. Maybe not. We got some early people here that I'm gonna give some shout outs if I can pull up the fucking chat here. We got Mojo. Who else was in here? Jack, Dravenero, Kasi, the only one of our Patreon supporters. Appreciate you, dude. Jack, what's going on? We're gonna be joined by my homies Titan Drago. And who else is going to be joining us? The Welsh Gamer, the one and only. Let me know about the audio levels. We're going to be starting in approximately 5 minutes. You guys can see the countdown, so I don't need to tell you that. What up, Invader Gaming, DJ Scene, Brandon Bryce. How's it going, guys? Lots of crazy news coming out, right? The white gloves are out. I wonder what he does with those gloves outside of Inside Xbox, you know what I'm saying? Elite Gaming Guru, see you, Biggie2316, Patreon supporter, what's up? Starbuck United, what's going on? Lots of good people in the chat. Hit the like button, share it out. We're going to have a fun time here. We're going to be joined, like I said, by Titan Drago and the Welsh Gamer. I sent the links out for them. Hopefully they'll be joining us quite shortly. Crazy news going out today, you know, PlayStation 5 specs and all that good stuff, you know. What do you guys think of, if you saw my video or not, or if you saw the news on Twitter, what do you guys think of that, all that information? You guys excited for the PlayStation 5, potentially next-gen consoles? We're talking about 8K resolution, ray tracing, SSD. Yeah, they're not in here yet, Shin. I sent that out to them. I'll be sending it out again. Not sure where they're at, you know. But, yeah. They'll be joining us shortly here. Yeah, so like I was saying, SSD, backwards compatibility confirmed, all that good stuff. Lots of things that we've been talking about for a while, but until you get official confirmation, it's just speculation, you know. Thanks for that, Biggie. I fully enjoyed doing that video. Alan Savage in the building. What's going on, man? Let me make sure you hit the like button, share this out so other people know that we're going to be going live. So it's going to be interesting to see when the release date is, because that was also something that they talked about. The PlayStation 5 is not going to be coming out in 2019 like some people were preaching on top of the mountaintop that was going to happen, but that's not the case. At this type of power, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of price point we're looking at. You know, I don't think it's going to be below. I think it's going to be $500 and above with that kind of, you know, tech specifically. I don't see how it could be at like a $400 price point, to be honest, you know. So it's going to be interesting there. And then are they going to be having multiple SKUs is the question, you know. Are they going to be putting out multiple SKUs? Because this seems like a very powerful console for them just to have one option for the consumer. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Titan Drago in the building. What's going on, man?
What's up? Just texting my buddy Matt on how much the sad edition of the Xbox is looking like a train wreck right now.
Did it make him sad?
It's doing its job.
It's doing its job. If you're interested in becoming sad, we have a console for you. Right?
You ain't lying, man. It's so bad. It's just, you know, and that's coming from an Xbox fan. I mean, yeah. Say I'm not critical on Xbox when they deserve it, man. This is bad.
Yeah, I don't see where this fits in the grand scheme of things. I don't know why they're coming out with it. Thaneros in the chat says it's Bobcat. He's back. Yeah, he wasn't on TSGP. Everybody misses the one and only Titan Drago, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Biggie2316, do you think Microsoft's reasoning behind 500 SKU is to help on the sticker shock for the Anaconda? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know the reasoning behind them having so many options, you know. I think it's going to get a little confusing for the consumer, to be honest, if I could be blatantly honest. Especially when they're rumored to be announcing the 2 next-gen consoles at E3, which is in June, and then this console's supposed to be coming out in May. It's like, where does that all fit in, right? Jack says, Crap Gamer signed the pony contract, RAP. I can't speak for Crap. He does his own thing, so, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Well, how long was his term for, man? How long is he sentenced for? Find that out, buddy.
I think it's one of those things where, yeah, this is kind of a special podcast. We have the Welsh Gamer in the building. It's a pleasure to be joined by my good friend from the Welsh area, you know. It's
the Welsh area. That was a cop out if I ever heard one. Don't you mean Wales?
The Welsh area.
We upgraded the name of the region.
The Welsh area.
I know that country. It's the one where they burn the tires. Oh man, how is everyone?
Yeah, we're good, man.
Pretty good. Yeah, so Matt in the chat, man, stick around, dude. We're gonna be doing it's a live reaction show for Inside Xbox. Now there's a lot of misinformation going out there already, you know, just and a lot of confusion. A lot of people are wondering if if Xbox is gonna retaliate today with some of their stuff. Information, because all these PS5 leaks have came out, like what I tweeted out 8 hours ago, you said, Salty. So all these leaks are coming out like 8 hours ago or whatever, and so people are wondering if Xbox is going to retaliate. The answer is no. Like I would drop dead. I would drop dead if Xbox had any kind of retaliation, because this show is already, like, you know, they planned the stuff out. They didn't plan for PlayStation to release this information 8 hours ago.
So we have currently a Mortal Kombat trailer right now. This is what this is. Who's getting MK11?
Ready to stand.
Man, I want it. I want that so bad. I might have to try and get another mooched copy of it.
Gotta mooch that copy of MK. The graphics look insane, dude.
So I mooched Wildlands from my buddy in the chat, and then I also mooched the Titanfall 2. Granted, it's only like $5 anymore, but I was able to mooch Titanfall 2 later that day from Boom Boom Kaboom himself.
Hey, let me know about the volume for
Inside Xbox starts
the Inside Xbox episode. I gotta get that kind of leveled off, or it's just kind of a happy medium between us talking and everything else. So looks like they're gonna show us.
I'm just hoping my mix crackers.
Hello and welcome to Inside Xbox. I'm Larry. This is Ricari, and we are live, which means we're taking a break from thirsting people in Apex
Some
Legends.
more controllers. What do you know?
Watch your back, because 2/3 of your champion squad is right here.
That's if you accept my invite. Now, coming up on today's show, what was the best birthday?
So you guys don't think that
me?
this
Tim
guy
Willis
looks
came
like
out
a
to the studio
buff
to give
version
me
of Carlton?
An exclusive hands-on demo of Rage 2. You won't see this gameplay anywhere else.
Plus, it's raining loot.
I want to see if he's ever going to do that
on the dungeon crawling hack and slash RPG Warhammer KhAoS Bane, and tell you how you'll be able to get your hands on the closed beta very soon.
Then we'll take you inside Star Wars Celebration for a look at Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the new game from Respawn, developers of Apex.
Rod Ferguson from the Coalition is just backstage in just a little bit.
Big
He'll
Rod's
going
to be on there, man.
Some game-changing Gears of War esports news.
And we've got some eye-popping, stealth-killing, arm-chopping reveals about backwards-compatible titles.
Hey, just to let you guys know, we're doing that giveaway for 2 copies of Mortal Kombat 11. Make sure you enter that.
You're watching, be sure you log into Mixer during today's show, so you can be eligible to grab today's
So yeah, Biggie, you can win that.
Salty,
you win Mortal Kombat.
And
what's
due
up?
to popular demand, you'll have
I hate it when you do these live reactions and you're just using the Google Hangout.
All right, well, let's go ahead and send it over to Kate, who's just over here for an Xbox Game Pass announcement that the community's been asking for.
We need to use the program, whatchamacallit, and set it up on while you're streaming, right?
Thanks, guys. Right now, I am joined by Ben Decker, General Manager, gaming services, which includes Xbox Live Gold and
so I can
Xbox
hear it
Game
and
Pass.
hear us at the same time. Otherwise, I gotta.
What do you
No,
have
pull
to
up.
announce to us
You
today?
can't pull up YouTube. I got the stream going on.
I need to, but my
excited to
computer
introduce
just is so
Xbox
slow.
Game Pass Ultimate.
I know.
It's a
I've
single
just
membership
sacked off
that
my
combines
laptop,
Xbox
and
Game
I'm
Pass
gonna have
with all
Inside
the benefits
Xbox
of
playing
Xbox
on my
Live Gold,
TV
including
next to
online
me.
multiplayer
Yeah, 'cause
for
I-
$14.99 a month.
X-Pass,
Now,
X-Pass,
this has been in the works for quite
Xbox
some time, and I know it's largely
Game
in
Pass
response to what
Ultimate.
gamers have been asking.
Yeah, you know,
X-Pass.
feedback from our members is the most important
That's
thing.
what
to think
Crab
about
Gamer
as
just
we make
lost. He
changes
just
to the
lost his
program.
X-Pass.
So,
Yeah.
you know, when we first launched.
All right, let's talk about this because we know the details, right? We've already heard about
It would be
this.
great if there were new games. in
So
Xbox
this
Game Pass. That's
Xbox
why
Game Pass
when
Ultimate. How do you guys feel about the Xbox X Pass, the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? Well, I haven't really got your thoughts on it. The combo of Xbox Live and Game Pass together. What do you think about this whole situation?
Shameless plug for the Xbox Factor, but me and Boom actually called this a few weeks ago. We were like, wouldn't it be a good idea if Xbox just do this package deal where they slam in the Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Live in one lump thing? But we said at the time, like, for 120, but I think in US dollar it's going to be 140, which is still cheap when you think about it, because that's just $20 more than the equivalent of 2 full-price AAA titles.
Yeah.
So all the games you're getting in Game Pass, not to mention the promise of every first-party title, and then when you look into the future a bit, with the goal of having a first-party game dropping every quarter, I mean, the money, like, you know, in terms of money going out versus like the money you're saving, it's a no fucking brainer. So if you ask me, I think it's a fucking phenomenal deal, and it's one that I'll certainly be putting my money down on for sure. Like,
see, the thing is, a lot of people are saying that they're just going to stay with Live and there's not enough of a discount. We're going to have to see once this hits like the third-party market, you know, like CD Keys and Amazon and some other shit, what kind of a discount you can see there. Because obviously if you go one-to-one comparison, it's not going to be that much of a discount, but we'll see what kind of discounts you can get on third-party places, you know, like that.
Well, this is the thing. I put this in my one of my I think it was my very last video I made that wasn't a parody. So I talked about this, and what this does is essentially save them from all the people that bitch about the paywall, the invisible paywall that people, all of us out, quote unquote, even though PlayStation has pretty much the same, PlayStation is pretty much on the same lines, you know. It's a very thin line between the difference between Xbox and PlayStation. You could say, well, PlayStation doesn't have the pay, but they do. They have PlayStation Plus. That's their paywall. So what this does is combine Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Live, and kind of removes the paywall because you're kind of just paying for both at once, right? So people, I've seen people turn this into a negative, saying, oh, they're making you pay for both. They're making me pay for both? This is a fantastic deal. It's utterly fantastic. Even if you don't even look for deals online, this is still an amazing deal.
I completely agree. I do completely agree. I'm quick to pull, you know, the whole like, what the fuck you playing at, Micro? If like Microsoft have some explaining to do. But I think this is a good deal, and my opinion stands, and I completely agree with what you're saying, Titan. Like,
yeah,
it's great.
Just to let you guys know, they're showing all the updates to Sea of Thieves, and this is phenomenal. I can't wait till this update comes in. He's talking about fishing and the harpoon gun, the PvP updates, all kinds of good shit. So they're about to go into the anniversary update. Let us know if you guys are gonna go back and play Sea of Thieves. If you kind of stepped away, are you still playing it? And what do you think of this update? I think it's phenomenal, dude. Just look at this trailer. It's fucking phenomenal. I'll turn the volume up for this. Deserves it. Got fishing in there. Let's see, what else can we see? You can knock down the cells now. You can destroy the steering wheel, the anchor. This is where you turn the treasure in during the PvP events. It's like a ship. that everybody goes to, you know?
It's gonna have star signs. Probably quests where you have to follow star
That's
signs.
the single player campaign. There's gonna be 9 chapters to that. Fishing. What else? Harpoon guns. You can attach yourself to the megalodons. You can attach yourself to the actual, like if you're passing by an island, you shoot it on the island and it will like catapult you around the island. It's pretty cool, you know? Good shit. Good shit, good shit, good shit. I think.
Good shit.
Hello everyone. So the anniversary.
Oh my god, I want
this is
that
by far
fucking
the biggest
cup.
update we brought to
Heck
Sea of
yeah,
Thieves
dude.
yet. It's
Look at
coming
that
Can you
cup.
imagine?
and it's free
Can you
to
imagine,
everyone.
dude? You're
So
just
first
drinking
of
out
all,
of that.
it
That's
contains
fucking
Twin Towers, which is
awesome,
this
right?
entirely new
Mate,
way
that's
to
like a
play,
proper old
Sea of
school
Thieves. It's a really
tankard.
rich
What do we call
story-driven
them?
quest system, a set of 9
Biggie says, "I
tales,
wish I
all
liked
telling
Sea
this
of
one
Thieves."
story.
Yeah,
Super
it's
fun,
not for
super
everyone,
exciting,
that's for
super
sure. I
different.
know. Shout out
Alongside this,
to
there's the Hunter's
Mr.
Call, which is a new
Boomstick.
trading
He's not a
company
fan of
centered
it,
around
you know.
fishing,
I think if you get the
hunting,
right
cooking,
crew,
which are all new
you can
mechanics that
have
come
fun,
to Sea of
right?
Thieves with this update.
Yeah,
Welsh,
Alongside that, you've
definitely.
got the
Welsh
No,
and
I
Titans.
100%. Yeah,
competitive,
totally,
super
man.
fun
It's
kind of,
I've
just
had a lot of
competitive
fun on
mode
that
all
game
around the kind of
solo. I
core
can't
bits
deny
of
that.
Sea
Like,
of
I'm
Thieves.
just one of those people that gets along with the Sea of Thieves formula, but where it is at, like where that game is at its core, probably one of, if not one of the. But I'm going to go and say on a limb that it's one of the best games this generation. When you're with a good crew of buddies and you hit the seas hard, I've lost hours, and not even in a bad way. I think, oh, Salty, he's online, Titan's online, Ashtrey's online. I'll jump in, have a couple of rounds of getting some chests. Next thing you know, 2 hours have gone. I'm like, shit, man, you've done some miles.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I could have any game that was out, like the Division 2 just came out, and then people were hopping on Sea of Thieves. I'm like, fuck, let's do it, man, because I was asked to go play it. Because I just have a lot of fun with the friends, you know. So make sure to hit that like button, share this out, so we can have a good hangout here. Like, it's good to see everybody here. Graphic God in the building. If you guys need some gamer picks, go check him out. He did my gamer pick. Appreciate it. He's a talented dude. Lots of good people up in here. Should be a good time. Should be interesting announcements. We have Rod Ferguson yet to oh, this is the diskless Xbox. Hold up.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Do it again.
Oh, they're taking the piss.
Yeah.
You just put white tape over the disc tray.
The foundation was made out of robot wet plastic and metal.
You gotta, mate, that's top quality, that is. That's proper band.
They're like, that's how we made it the diskless Xbox. Just put a piece of tape over it.
Mate, you gotta admit, though, how satire is that? That's comical as fuck. That's made my night.
I mean, at least they can, you know, not take it too seriously.
Yeah, no, that is totally like taking the criticism and just making it fun, making it funny.
Could they have made that box any more boring, dude? Holy shit! All white console, all white box.
You've seen
I
it,
just
and
think
here's
it
what
could.
you need to know. First, the
Let's see
Xbox
it.
One S All Digital Edition comes out
I'll be
on May
perfectly
7th,
honest, though, in
and you
terms
can
of the
pre-order
design
right now
choice,
at
like
your
they
local
could have
Microsoft
tattered
store
it up a
online,
little.
and at select retailers, including
look
Walmart,
bland
Best
as all
Buy,
hell.
and Amazon.
B.
But like,
all
hey
digital
ho,
edition
like,
is the most affordable
I
way
mean,
to
if the
start
Xbox
playing
One X
Xbox
looked like
One
my
games,
granny's
priced
nutsack, I
at
wouldn't care.
$249.99.
$249. I was right.
less
Suck.
than the S
I was
with
gonna
an
say
optical
something.
drive.
I was gonna say something.
We expect to
I was gonna
maintain
say
at
something,
least
but I gotta hold it
$50
back.
difference
Calm down,
between
calm down.
Xbox
All right.
One S
So
and
all the
the
people,
all digital edition
all the people
during
that talk
sales.
shit and said I
when
didn't
we
know
have
what I
a
was
sale on
talking
Xbox
about.
One S, you can expect the
All right, and I didn't know what I was talking about. It's different between Euros and all that other stuff.
Suck
it!
This is exactly the Xbox.
Yeah,
So
Matt,
how
if
much
you're
is the
still in the
which
chat,
means
that's the
4K
L, man.
HDR video
That's
playback
L for
on
everybody.
Amazon and the
That's an
Microsoft
L.
Store and more.
So how much
no
is
way
the
around
one?
it.
Yeah,
How much
That
is the
makes no
All
sense.
digital
normal?
edition also
just
comes
makes
with
no
a 1
sense.
terabyte hard drive, so plenty of space for your
How
digital
much is the
library.
normal S?
4, it comes with 3.
You can find it for
Minecraft,
200.
games that you can
Sea of
play
Thieves,
in
and
Game
Forza
Pass.
Horizon 3, but that's
Come
not
on,
all.
guys.
Owners will also
Yeah,
have
that's
access
bad,
to
man.
incredible
That's a big
Xbox
L,
Game
dude.
Pass
They
deals
have
as
to
soon as
turn
they
that
connect
into the
Xbox Live.
streaming
On May
box.
7th,
They have to
owners of the
remarket
Xbox
that
One S
thing and
All Digital
repackage
Edition
it as the
will see an
streaming
offer
box.
for 3 months of Xbox Game
What's the
Pass
point,
for
dude?
just $1.
What a
That's
waste.
$1.
To be
3
honest,
months
that's
over
the most.
100
That's
games. That's pretty strong.
Got any favorites?
I
Now,
can't
first of all, this is a great.
understand
How many
why.
people-
Games. One of
I've said it
mine is
before.
Prey.
That's the
I
worst
love Prey,
decision
which is-
Xbox
How many
has made
people
since
are gonna go out and buy
the
this
film.
shit? Honestly, like
Yeah.
how many consoles do you think they're gonna move for this? Like,
Why would
if you're a
anyone?
consumer,
Let's
like,
be
why
honest.
would you do that? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, I'm all about the all digital age and stuff, but I mean, nowadays, right here and the now, if you're going to the market and you're like, right, I'm going to buy myself an Xbox,
No.
And you've got the One S with a disc drive, and next to it, one without, and the price difference isn't really anything to gloat over. You're obviously going to just be like, yeah, you never know. I could find myself in GameStop or CEX and pick up a couple of discs. I'm not gonna limit myself. Like,
you're literally giving up your ability to play any physical disc at any point, or play any Blu-ray player in any Blu-ray movie for a $50 discount, which isn't even a $50 discount, which is ridiculous. You're trying to tell me that people are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to give up my ability to get physical disc and play movies for $50? It's like, no, dude. And you're not even, it's not even close. So this is the biggest fail, in my opinion, in a while. Like, what's even the point? I'd love to be a dude a fly on the wall for the number crunchers and be like, all right, how many Xbox One S SAT editions have we sold? Oh, like 50. You know,
like, fly on the wall. Give me a suit and put me in that room. I'll slap people around silly. What's the matter with you fools? What's going on, man? Who's this for? What's the point of this? Let's drop, like, all right, Xbox has shelved some good ideas. Shelf this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, honestly, just be honest with me, chat. Who is gonna buy this? You know what I'm saying? Like, is anybody in the chat gonna buy this? Like, what would your motivation be to move to buy this? And don't tell me it's the $50 thing and the games you can play in Game Pass. Like, if they're trying to market Game Pass, why include games that are in Game Pass? You know what I'm saying? Like, people, you just, it doesn't make any sense to me.
People that think
that is so backwards, isn't it? Yeah, they're even bundling games which you can get with Game Pass.
Like, they want people to buy Game Pass, so why would you give them the games? You know what I'm saying? Like,
this is for the absolutely clueless gamer right here, man. Yeah. Like, they have no clue. This is for the casual guy that's at Walmart that wants something to play for the weekend and has extra money to burn.
Hey, shut up. Real quick. Hold that thought. Gotham guy with the $5 super chat. God, I wish Nelson wasn't on the show. I just waiting for Rob Ferguson Gears news as well as E3 FanFest. Yep. I'm right there with you, man. Hey, this Rage gameplay looks cool though. Hey, type a 1 in the chat if you're going to be getting Rage 2. I'm day one on this game. This game looks fucking phenomenal, dude. Looks amazing.
For those people that think the next gen consoles are going to be $400, the One S is still $250.
Yes,
how old is this box?
Yes, great point.
Think of it that way.
Great point. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the price point for next gen. I think that this whole if the console's above $400, it's not going to sell, because that's what they said with the Xbox One X. When that price point came out and it was supposed to be $500, everybody shit on that announcement. They're like, oh, it's too high. People won't pay over $400. I don't think these console people give a shit about the price point, because they're seeing people drop $1,000 for an iPhone, you know?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like, if you show value to your customers when it comes to tech, they will pay the money. What do you guys think?
I completely agree. I've said for ages now that next gen, like the Anaconda specifically, I genuinely think the minimum you can expect is like 600.
Yeah.
Minimum. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was more. And I'd happily pay it. Like, as a hardcore gamer, that's the audience they're aiming towards. Like, that's the people who will head out and buy it. The same folks who are hardcore iPhone fans, as you said. They don't care if the next iPhone X, W, Y, and Z with a fucking 2mm extra on the corner of your screen is an extra grand. They're like, yeah, give me that phone, god damn it. So it's like, it's the same damn thing. At the end of the day, where Xbox are going to make their dough and they're going to make, you know, the unit sale war, as I'll call it, that's where the Lockhart and the One S2, should I say, will come into play. Assuming it's priced properly.
This Rage 2 gameplay looks phenomenal. I am telling you, dude, don't sleep on Rage 2. This game's
never played Rage.
Hey, Rage was okay, but this looks like everything that's good about Doom, and then everything that was good about Rage, with combos of like Mad Max and some other shit going on, dude. It looks phenomenal.
It literally does look like Just Cause Doom and Metro Exodus just had a love trial.
Tim, when I pick up my copy of Rage 2,
I can't wait, dude.
Just had a massive orgy in a motel room and just pooped out this bad.
So what I tell people is,
look at that. Is that the BFG? It looks like, dude, the guns, the way that the graphics look and the guns, they look like they ripped them out of Doom, and I think they're using the same engine as well. I think
it does look very Doomy.
It came in there and did some of the, you could just tell, like the gameplay, like the gunplay, the guns, everything else just looks like it's ripped out of Doom, you know?
And you find them and you uncover.
Biggie says the new Samsung foldable phone is $1,900, so people will buy tech. That's a fact, okay?
It's a hell of a birthday gift for me.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Fuck yeah, now. How can you charge that much for a phone? No, dude. But people will buy it. This is what we're getting at. Like, people need to stop bitching into a pillow and saying like, oh, next year. Because I've seen it on Twitter. Like, people are like, oh, if the Anaconda and the PS5 isn't like 400, 450, that's a fail. It's like, no, get fucked, man. Like, you entitled bastard! Like, why don't they just give it to you for free? You know, why you pay anything? Just let them give it to you for free, for God's sake. You know, is that what you're going to ask next? Crazy.
Yeah, like, so when exactly is it okay for the price of consoles to go up? I mean, a good point. We were talking to Native in the party, and he was like, "Well, when is the price of games going to increase? You know, because those have been the same. It's like gamers expect things to stay the same price for like forever, you know? How long has it been a standard where consoles can't be over a certain price point? You're talking about inflation and all that other stuff. Like, prices go up, you know what I'm saying? So
well, I remember when I went to get Halo 3 day one, and it cost me like, I remember because I was a teenager, I was saving up my money, ready for Halo 3 day. Went to go get it from my local Blockbuster. Yeah, Blockbuster, when it was a thing. And it was like £30. Like, you literally can't get a game for less than £60 these days in the UK. Like, obviously an indie or a AA or something like that. But like a AAA title, you're talking anything between 60, and I've seen games even hitting the 70 mark. And that's just the games.
Gears, real quick, June 14th, Gears Esports dropping on TBS.
For his birthday, but June 14th is mine.
Oh, we have the Viking.
Rod Ferguson. To explain about that excitement, Rod Ferguson, studio head, and of course,
I'll watch that shit.
Coalition.
Yeah, man, we should do a live
so much for being
reaction.
Here,
I like this guy right here.
I am
Rod
very
Ferguson.
happy
I think
for you
he's
to be
a
here
fucking
because you are
badass.
talking my language, and that, of course, is esports. And you've been here before. And we're coming at this
agree.
from the perspective
He's
of,
my
you know,
hero.
we've got the second season of Gears Pro Circuit wrapping up next week, right? We've got a lot of that esports scene already
saying,
around.
what the fuck, TBS?
Everyone wants to know what's next. And
they don't have anything else
where can
to
they
show,
see Gears
let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm here for, is to talk about E-League. E-League is amazing. You know, it's been 3 years now and on TBS, and we always talked about like Gears of War esports when we started, you know, back in 2014 when I brought Gears to Vancouver. It was really about like, how can we bring esports on this journey? We got to learn to crawl, then we can learn to walk, and we can try to run. And Ultimate Edition was really that crawl, and Gears 4 was walking. And now I feel like we're trying to get to run, like we're standing up, we're picking up the pace. And this idea of bringing Gears of War,
you back Titan, you got abducted by aliens.
Having this partnership with them so that people can see it on their television and really get deeper into what is the Gears scene. You know, it's like you go back to our all access we used to have, right?
Yeah, Theneros TBS doesn't have shit to show, so that's why they're having this on there. I'm not talking shit,
and
but
that's what the E-League is going to bring. It's not just about, you know, the tournaments, and it's not just about highlight reels. It's really about who are the players, who are the teams, you know, who are the fans, and what are those stories that we want to tell.
What this man has done with Gears, just he needs commending, man.
Go deeper into them and really understand
what a phenomenal
what is the Gears
job
scene.
he's done.
And that's one of the things I love about Gears Esports is that they come alongside, like you mentioned, those
literally
players, you know, basically,
away
from the keyboard, out of the bright lights. Still a very important part, of course.
And
but I'm
he literally,
go
like,
into the E-League
I
portion
think
of
he
this.
made it
Obviously,
better.
a
Like, in
great
terms of like the gameplay, how smooth the multiplayer is. Like, it's just Gears 4 is so good. And then when you hear him in interviews say like that Gears 4, you know, where they played it safe for the fans of the Gears franchise. Now Gears 5 is where we go in with our vision. That just gets me excited. I just can't wait to see what Gears 5 is all about.
Yeah, yeah, man. There's a lot of people that saw that Rod was going to be there today, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to get some Gears 5 footage," and it's like, nah. I knew that wasn't going to be the case, you know.
And I think what
so
we're doing
the
even
E
special,
League
like,
stuff
as
makes
you said,
sense for
we're
him to
ending
be there. They're
season
trying
2 of
to,
Gears
you know,
4, and so now
promote
people are wondering, like,
that.
what's going on with Versus for Gears 5.
It's nice
So
that they
we're using
have
E-League as a way
that,
to
and then
bring
they
that
have
out and
Halo
show
for
that off. So
esports as
E-League
well.
is actually going to be the way you're going to see your first
I love
focus on
watching that
Versus for Gears
stuff as
5.
well, man. It's
And
so
then
good.
in July,
The
13th,
standard,
14th, we're gonna have a Gears 5
unbelievable. Again,
Invitational.
just
We're gonna bring
testament
8
to like
teams,
what I've
fan
been saying
favorites
for
from around
years
the world,
about the
come
Xbox
together
as a
and,
platform.
show
Like
off
it
our
is
versus
the
what
home
it's
of
like in Gears 5.
competitive multiplayer. Like
Excuse
it
me,
is.
I'm so sorry.
You
that was
don't
under-
get that
Let's
level
take
of
you to Saltiest.
like competitiveness with a first party
about
AAA game over on any of the other platforms. Like name one on the Switch or the PS5 that has like an esports for like Uncharted or.
Oh, they're
Pop to
gonna
mind, I'd
show
be able to
Gears
come up with
Pop right
something,
now.
or if I could think tactically
Ooh.
about what I could talk
Is that
about.
the
Or
mobile
is it
phone
Gears
one?
Tactics? They're gonna show one of those right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing lots. We're doing,
Maybe.
you know,
They're
just
talking about it
a
right
crazy
now.
amount of stuff going on in the coalition right now. So much so that I had to like take a seaplane down and back so that
I saw on your Instagram. That was pretty cool. Pretty
so
cool.
I think
lose a
Gears
day in
Pop
the
looks
studio,
pretty
so I mean,
fun.
more than a day.
I don't really play
yeah,
shit on
we
my
have lots of
phone,
stuff going
but
on. I even got the new
looks
comic book
interesting.
series started with Highbusters.
Right.
That's going to be coming out in May. I hope I'm supposed to be saying that because now it's out there now.
It is there.
And so yeah, so between like 3 games plus a bunch of other stuff plus comics plus a bunch of other stuff, there's just a lot going on. But just the fact that we're bringing like. You know, when we started back,
So they're not
going
going
to
to actually show anything.
and just sort of going back
Whatever.
old school.
All right, Libertine Gamer. So Salt, the all digital is strictly for digital games. How can you play with this with Game Pass? By the way, you own those 3 games. Yeah, I'm not sure what the question was about. With the all digital version of the Xbox, you're not going to be able to play any discs. So. That's just the way it is. So if you wanted to play games through Game Pass, you have to download them, you know?
Esports and Gears 5 as well. Like, where can we carry it even after launch?
Well, as an esports fan,
she's hot.
I'm so excited to
Everybody's saying that she's hot.
Thank you so much, Rob, for being
I think it's the hair, man. I just love a bird who wants to do something wild with that top.
There's my gift to you. You won't stop.
You and Biggie, man. You go take a cold shower.
Like Mini-Me when he's humping bloody Beyonce's leg. No, Mini-Me, no!
If you're new to esports, not as hardcore as, say, Kate.
I don't know what you're talking
I don't know what's going on with his red mustache and then everything else is white hair, white beard. It's just weird. It's throwing me off. It looks like he shoved his face into a bowl of spaghetti. You know what I'm saying?
I literally have not taken my eyes off his tash. I'm just like, he's been drinking some hot chocolate and he's still.
You might as well just fucking dye it all white. I don't know how that happens. First of all, but damn.
Major Magic Hands Nelson.
Thanks, Rod.
There he is.
If you're like me and you can't get enough of Apex Legends, I
He's
think
so
I've got a
fucking
game
lame,
that will
man.
make you drop your epically skinned Mozambique.
Honestly,
Dude,
man, I'm sure he's a top
Star Wars Jedi
guy. I'm
Fallen
sure
Order,
he's
the
like a
next
really
game
nice
yeah,
guy.
for
I'm not
sure.
mocking him,
And
but
it's set
like,
to
oh
launch
my
on
god,
November
he just
15th.
depresses me.
Unlike Apex,
He
this
depresses
is a single-player,
me.
story-driven experience, and we were there.
Every time he
for
just
the big
shows up,
reveal
I'm just like,
Oh
oh
my.
in Chicago last weekend.
Ooh, Star Wars.
Hey,
Yes. Your beard is gray on only on the right side. So what does it look like? Two-Face or something?
Was that a question to me?
No, Thanero said his beard is gray only on the right side.
Ha, that's class. Ooh, this is Jedi Fallen Order.
Hey, I'm super hyped about this game. With this generic white guy as the main character. Super hyped.
It's the story, it's the battle of light and darkness, it's falling in love with a character and a setting. And
Isn't that the guy from Gotham? The dude that plays the Joker?
On an amazing adventure.
It looks like
and
him.
We felt we could best serve that demand with a single player game.
Jesus,
what about the rumored physical to digital trade-in program? Is that shit happening or what? I haven't really heard anything about that, to be honest.
yeah, they haven't talked about that in months.
He's got trauma in his past, and he's a Force user, so he already
That guy's beard's on point, man.
Man, I was literally thinking the exact same thing.
That's a thick ass beard, but it's trimmed as fuck, dude.
his skill
I
set.
was literally just
I don't know, it looks
about
kind
to
of
say,
brown
you
in the
see-
front. I don't know. It's weird.
The guy's beard game is wrong. You just took it
Dude,
right
his
over.
beard game, it looks like he spray painted the front brown, though. It's weird. That's the kind of coverage
That
that
must
you...
be a requirement. It must be a requirement.
That's the
to
kind of
develop
coverage you
games.
guys come here for, right? Beard talk, fucking
That's two guys with beards. Two guys in a row with the front of their beard is different color from the rest of their
spray
beard.
on beard. The spaghetti dye, the spaghetti dye the front of your fucking mustache beards.
Then you notice how clean shaved the character is in Jedi Fallen Order. You see, he looks like he shaved this morning. I gotta say though, if this Jedi Fallen Order game isn't spectacular, I really just want EA to just fucking give Star Wars to another developer.
Just hang it up.
Yeah, just be like, yeah, we tried. We want to give it a go.
I mean, if this, I don't see how it's gonna bomb, but yeah, if it did, it'd be RIP. Because at that point, how many games do you need to wreck before you just say, hey, it's just not working out? But I think this looks really phenomenal, dude.
Yeah,
Plus, they're saying the combat kind of is similar to Dark Souls, which I love. You know, parrying, dodging, all that good stuff.
No, it's going to be quality. Well, while we transition into the final flush, that is the Star Wars movie, Dan the Crapper.
I think Apex is the only reason this game does not have microtransactions. I think Vince Zampella said, "Look, let's develop 2 games. We'll develop 2 games for your worthless ass, EA. We'll develop this game that's nothing but microtransactions. Then we'll develop this game with none on it. All right? Is it a deal?" That sure sounds like a business meeting to me.
Is it Respawn doing Jedi Fallen Order then?
Yeah.
Oh, that says it all. Now I have faith. I have faith now. That's changed everything. No, I said months ago when Apex was like a week old and it was like another Xbox factor. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
But I said on the show, I was just like, I wouldn't be surprised because Apex was already showing clear signs of popularity, and at the moment, it's actually trending higher than like Fortnite on Mixer and stuff like that. So it's just getting bigger.
Right.
I said back then that will, in fact, that will literally fund.
Yo, Ninja Gaiden 2.
When you see the now enhanced,
who's excited for this? This shit looks really good on the enhanced version, man.
It was worth the wait.
Now remember, with these Xbox One X enhanced releases, you're getting the very best.
How far behind is my stream? This computer sucks.
Xbox 360
Are you
games
watching
that
the
are
Mixer?
Xbox One X
We're watching the Mixer
enhanced
stream.
run at a higher resolution and 9.
Well, yeah, I'm on the Mixer stream, but damn, I'm behind.
Xbox One X.
9 times.
Yeah,
this game looks really good, dude.
Remastered ports, y'all.
But that's not all we have for
What's
you.
on your
Starting
screen
today,
now,
5 existing
Salty? I'm
backwards
currently looking at
compatible
the
Xbox 360
dude and the
titles
woman talking
will
on
be
the chair.
enhanced for Xbox One X.
She just clapped
These
her
classics
hands.
are going to look
Yeah.
a whole lot better.
Now I'm. Is this Sam
Now,
Fisher?
the first is one of Sam Fisher's most dangerous assignments, Splinter Cell Double Agent. You'll have
Splinter
to
Cell Double Agent. This is the only Splinter Cell you guys are going to be getting, so
while maintaining your cover,
enjoy
or what
it.
I call Tuesdays.
But that's not the only Splinter Cell title we've got for you today. Splinter Cell Conviction is
No,
also
I have
Xbox
faith
One
that
X
Ubisoft
enhanced.
will deliver.
The series
Whether
received
it
a
be this
major
E3 or
overhaul
next
in this
E3
chapter
or
with
that they
fast,
will.
fluid
They got to
action
do
and
a
an
Splinter.
incredibly stylized
They
presentation.
came out with like this article saying like the pressure's like real with the Splinter Cell shit. And it didn't sound too positive when it comes to them coming out with another title. I'll have to send it to you. It's interesting, man.
I just don't get it though, like the logic, like you're a developer, like surely the more you answer your fans, the more money you'll earn, and you know, full circle. No, oh hello, is this Fable 2? But you know, no one's asking for more Assassin's Creed games. They've got enough Assassin's. Just swap 1 year of Assassin's Creed and just do a fucking Splinter Cell. It is literally Assassin's Creed, but in the modern day with a bloody with night vision goggles. Just fucking crack on, man.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. All right, just remember there's no additional purchase to make. You can play with the discs you already own.
Whatever technology they use to get these titles up with the back compat and make them look better is fucking outstanding. That Ninja Gaiden game looks amazing. I'm gonna play that shit.
To be fair, I recently went back to, but a few months back I started playing Fable Anniversary on the One X back
the PC experience is about
my
to get a
goodness,
whole lot better with the relaunch
because
of
the
Game
art style as well, because it
revamp
is
with a
very
ton of
Sea of
changes.
Thievish, like
I
the
sat down with some of the
classically
team behind Game Bar for a
cartoony
look
look.
at all
It
of the
looked like
new
a game that
features
came out this
and
week,
what's still to come.
and
Did you know I did that and it wasn't
the
Larry?
resolution.
Got a lot of great features coming to Game Bar, but I
so
want to start first.
amazing! I couldn't believe it for such an old game.
Here comes the PC shit that they always do in these episodes now. It's like inside PC show. What is this thing called? The PC bar?
PC gamers today do a lot of things when they're gaming. They are music,
Damn.
they are posting
Major
things to
Magic
their
Hands
feed,
Nelson
chatting
on
with
the
their friends
case.
Xbox Live. And today you have to choose between doing those things
Where's
or
his
your
white
game.
gloves?
And we don't
Fuck's
like
sake,
I know you guys are so interested in what they have to say about PC. What the hell's the Game Bar? Crazy Greek dude. Just an overlay you put on your fucking PC. Don't care. So Titan Drog, are you there? Or you get abducted? Or are you still eating your food?
No, I'm good.
All right. So what's up, man? What do you think?
My stream is just lagging behind really bad.
So of what you've seen, like anything spark your interest in any of the backwards compatible shit? What else have they talked about? The Game Bar. I know you're really hyped about the Game Bar.
Yeah, I could give a crap less about a Game Bar.
What's a Game Bar?
It's a overlay for streaming and screen cap built into Windows OS, says Crazy Greek dude.
Oh, so
Pretty
it's
much,
just
who gives a shit? Like, why would they be showing that on this? You know. DJ Scene, Salty. There's a rumor popping up at E3. We will hear PC exclusive on Xbox show. That's an L. I'm not surprised. They're trying to tap into that PC market, to be honest. You know, so.
To be fair, I'm not against anything with regards to PC as long as it's reciprocated both ways. Like this whole Xbox across devices, I've been a proponent for years. I will continue to wave that flag, but I don't want them to be like, and this is on PC. And it's like I'm waiting for them to say and Xbox, but it's like, okay, anytime now, and Xbox, like that bloody Gears Tactics. Like I know it's no doubt going to come over at some stage with the support of keyboard and mouse, but still, for them to not say it, a lot of people were salty over that, which I don't blame them.
How have you created your space?
Yeah, I feel you.
Am I talking too much? This is my first live reaction podcast.
Nah, bro. Talk away. I'm coughing my fucking head off over here. It feels like I got something in the back of my throat. Anyway, I can't believe they're talking this much about the Game Bar. Like, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying?
You can tell that was Major Nelson's idea.
Hey guys, the Game Bar.
He clearly was like, do you know what? We gotta lead with this shit. This is amazing.
Man, the Game Bar is so fucking cool. Look at this overlay.
My favorite streamers right within Game Bar.
Look at the water though, guys.
Look at that water tech on the Game
That
Bar.
water is something else. I love the water in that game.
Get those white gloves out, Major.
Oh, Major Nelson, I have a little bit of an ache up in my butthole. Can you get your white gloves on that shit?
Hey, come check out my Game Bar. It's fully decked out.
Is that a Game Bar in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
KhAoS says, wow, that announcement for the sad edition was bad. Yeah, it was sad.
Yeah, I'm with the world when I say that that's got to be one of the biggest L's that Xbox has delivered since probably 2013, in all honesty.
Since L's were created.
I just have this vision of Yoda going, just lifting an L and gifting it to Phil.
Oh, this game looks cool. Look at this shit. Crossbane. KhAoS Bane, I mean. Isn't that what you were talking about, DJ? It was kind of like, like Diablo-ish.
You love the Warhammer universe, for some good old-fashioned dungeon crawling, then this is the game.
God,
for
Creeper's
you.
in the chat. I
Couch
see
co-op,
Creeper everywhere.
loot
Big
for
up
days,
Stream. He
and
supports
skill
everyone.
trees
It's awesome.
Creeper? Yeah,
Slap
Creeper's
Creeper.
awesome.
Yeah. I see him all the time. He's a
the
huge
next
supporter.
Yeah,
Beta
Creeper is a
about to start,
Patreon
and
supporter.
in
Look
just
at
2
this
days.
this custom
On April 18th, you'll
Xbox.
be able to jump into the action as Braggy Axbiter, the Dwarf Killer.
Hey,
He's all
I'm
about
actually
high
interested in
DPS
this game.
and
This looks like
in-your-face
Diablo
damage.
had a clone,
You
dude.
can also try out Alessa, the Wood Elf, if you want to provide support and range damage for your party. They'll be joining the Soldier and High Elf classes from the first beta, which means all 4 classes.
Yo,
will
this
be
looks
playable
shit.
at
This looks
once
awesome.
and in a brand new region.
Hey, who's
Head over to
Diablo
my Twitter
fans
at
out there? I know you guys
Major
are
Nelson
out there,
because I've got
man.
beta codes to give away. You can also guarantee beta access when you pre-order the game on the Xbox Store. If you already
That looks quite cool. I love that
worry,
thing.
we've got you
Is that
covered.
is that
You
like an
are in.
attachment that you can
This
buy
is
and
the
shove on
last time
top
you'll
of
be
it?
able
Is
to
that
get
an
your
actual
hands on the
console?
game before it
That's
launches
probably just
on
a
June 4th.
custom console that
And
they're
we've
going to
got
give
one
away.
last Warhammer announcement. We're
They're
giving
really
away
dropping
a
the ball with
limited
these
edition
custom
console,
consoles, man.
this
Like
Xbox
that
One
Tomb Raider
X
one they
and
dropped
Magic
was like,
Controller,
honest to
which are
God, one of
based
the
on the
best
Fierce
things I've
Bloodletter
ever
Fire
fucking
Demon,
seen.
one of the game's
You know, all they
iconic
did with this
monsters.
is literally they made
Now,
that
only
mold on
2
the
of
top
these
and then just put
consoles
it
have
on
been
the
made,
top.
and this one can be yours.
Yeah.
Go to @Xbox on Twitter to find
Looks
out
like it
how
would
to
just
win.
like
Good luck.
fall
All
off
right,
the top,
Ricari,
and then the
what's up?
controller doesn't even
All
look
right, in
that
just a
cool.
few minutes, it's going to be raining controllers.
Brandon, where's the super glue?
Everything you'll need to grab during the huge Xbox Spring Sale.
Stick this devil on
First,
top.
a look at one of our most popular series.
His shirt's cool.
Xbox
I don't know what it
Sessions, where
is,
the biggest
but
names in pop culture
cool.
play the latest games, and right
I thought it was
now,
Rock
there's
Candy,
no
but it's
bigger
not,
name
I
than
don't think.
Zachary Levi, star of
I think it might
Shazam.
be.
Now, Zach may have the #1 movie in the country for a couple of weeks running, but will he be able to survive the Xbox Game Pass
Something
Superhero Challenge?
Ghoulies. It's like an old Xbox game.
Anyway, Zachary Levi. Who saw Shazam, by the way?
None other than Zachary Levi.
This guy's cool.
Star
I like that
of a
guy.
Brand new superhero movie in the DC universe.
Yeah, anyone in the chat, if you've seen Shazam, 1, if it was like really good, or 2, if it was really bad. Simple.
I still need to
wanna
see
know.
it. Honestly, I'm gonna try to see it this weekend.
Yeah, I want to see it, man. I think the actor's class.
Biggie's just throwing down fucking the big hitters, dude. Yeah, it looks like someone made a mold of that, whatever that demon was, and just slapped it on top of a basic Xbox that they scratched up with you know, some fucking sandpaper or something. Yeah, I'm gonna see Shazam. I actually want to see Hellboy, even though it sucked apparently to critics. I'm a big Hellboy fan, so I'll probably see that when it comes out on 4K Blu-ray, you know. So
David Harbour, FTW.
The floor is lava, guys. Sometimes you gotta fail in order to learn.
is he really playing this shit? I doubt it, dude.
You can make up for it. Zach, the challenge today
They're just doing
is
cuts
200
in and out.
miles an hour on the Forza Horizon Sprint.
They're doing
Which I
cuts
think
in and
you can
out.
do.
He's like,
How fast
yeah,
can you
man,
do
I
this?
failed
I've
so
never been
hard
clocked.
there. Just kidding, I didn't play. I have controller in my hand because they're not actually showing me play. It was someone else. Yeah, I don't know, man. These movie stars coming in to just promote their shit, they don't really play games for the most part. I mean, there's some of them.
Rocket League's fucking solid.
Rocket League's cool. I suck at it, so I don't really play.
Oh, mate, I love Rocket League.
Oh my
but
gosh,
it's
I'm
so hard.
so terrible.
I suck at Rocket League so hard. It sounded weird. So anyway,
Dude,
yeah.
me getting a win in Rocket League is freaking pretty rare, and it's exciting because it's so rare.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Shazam. We got Avengers Endgame. Super excited about that. So that L, man, I can't get over that Xbox L edition, man, that they announced today. There's such a letdown, dude. Crazy, the all digital edition. Oh, we're gonna announce some controllers here, folks.
That means allergies, erratic weathers, E3 predictions for you, and preparations for us.
So I'm
and
gonna
a
let
bunch of fun
them
stuff.
carry on, and I got something to say,
Thrones is
assuming that
back,
they
ran its
fuck it up
withering
like they did
characters
last
with
time.
the three-eyed raven stare, and there's big Xbox Spring Sale, which no one died during yet. Whether you're looking for consoles, games, or accessories, there's something for everyone.
We are standing in front of all
I'd
of
like
these
all those
controllers
controllers,
for a
please.
reason. All of them were created with Xbox Design Labs. There's over 1 billion color combinations out there, so
1
make your own.
billion. That black one with
Go
the gold
customize every inch
D-pad's
of it,
pretty
the
cool.
sticks, the bumpers, the triggers, everything.
The bumpers,
And
the
right now, you get $5
triggers. You can hear everybody's
All of
like
the
announcer
available
voice that
special
they
edition
do, like
controllers
her.
are also on sale, including the last 2 we revealed on Inside Xbox, the Phantom White and the Sport
That red one's
Listen,
sexy.
They make great gifts or replacements when, you know, you're faced with the ramifications of Sekiro Rage.
Oh, the gloves are out. Who's having a prostate exam?
I think so.
There we go.
All right, so you've
I'm
got
ready,
the
Major
controllers.
Nelson.
What about the
Major
games?
Magic Hands Nelson.
Head over to
Where'd
the
you want
Xbox
me?
store for discounts of up to 65% off on
You
over
guys ready for a
500
sad
titles and
announcement? You
DLCs.
come to
And
the
gold
right
members,
place.
You save an extra 10%. That is crazy.
Crazy.
It's so fucking cringe.
Cringe.
Hashtag
cringe in the chat.
Game plus all the DLC, as well as the remastered version of Assassin's Creed 3, which normally retails for $40 by
That's all good
itself.
though. We get to look at this.
Or maybe
Oh
pick
yeah,
up
for
the
sure, for
complete
sure.
edition
That blue
of The
one's
Witcher
cool.
3
The blue
for
that
only
fades into
$15.
black. That's sick.
Why not pick them all up? I mean, those 2 games alone will keep you busy for months. If you're feeling
Major Nelson looks like he
apocalyptic,
goes to
go
sleep
for
in his
Stated
suit.
K2 for
You know what I'm saying?
$14.99 and check out the free Choose Your
Oh, for the
Apocalypse
record,
update.
anyone out there who does like State of Decay 2, the new update is phenomenal.
5 million players. Congratulations to the team at Undead Labs.
5 million
That
players.
is a
Congrats.
milestone to be proud of. There are so
My
many
game of the
options
year
for
of
the
last
spring
year.
sale, so take a look.
Now back to those deals there,
And for the
Larry.
record,
You
it's
save
my
$50
personal
on
game
any
of the
Xbox
year.
One.
Before
This
I
feels like
get
one
my
giant
back.
commercial. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No,
Now
no,
on
it's
to the next
Included.
commercial. We have an
PC side,
Anthem
we've got
themed
up to
bundle.
$300
Pick it
off
up while
gaming
supplies
PCs,
last.
and up to 50%
Ding
off
ding
digital games and
ding.
much more.
That's a lot to keep
The
track
most,
of, but don't worry. There's a
the
rundown
most
of all the
fucking
sales
lame
over at
bloody
Xbox.com,
L
or you
of
can
a
check out
game
the
this year with the
Microsoft on your
sad,
console.
lame,
Larry, are you
discless
ready for
console.
E3?
Seems like a pretty good combination.
All right, what are they going to talk
Because
about?
in just a few minutes,
E3
Phil
details,
Spencer is going to
folks.
give us a sneak preview of what's to come.
All right, but first it's time to talk about one of our favorite community events, Xbox Fan Fest. Last year we hosted.
Hey, let us know if you guys are going
all
to
around the
E3.
world,
Mr.
and we've got
Boomstick
even
will be
bigger
there signing
plans for
autographs,
2019.
so hit him up.
Oh, I can't wait for E3, man. Oh, literally.
E3's in June. I'm having my baby in July.
Ah, that's awesome, man.
Yep.
I didn't know you were having a baby.
Yep. Another girl.
Oh man, you're gonna be outnumbered. Well, you're already
I know,
outnumbered.
man. Well, I have my dog. He's a boy, so it's me and my. So we're tied right now, and then we're gonna have a girl.
Yeah.
So the balance of the force is gonna be off.
The balance of the force. I am the Senate.
I am the Senate.
That's a cracking impression. Fair play.
Hey, thanks everybody for the congrats. Let us know if you guys are going to E3, if you're going to be going to FanFest, all that good stuff. I was planning on going to E3, but, you know, I'm having a baby, so that takes precedence. My wife's like, you're not going to California when I could go into labor, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do it, you know, so.
Fair play. That's very
looks
fair.
familiar. That shirt looks weird. What's up with the arms, man? Are those pockets? Who doesn't need pockets on their arms?
Kind of looks like a jersey.
I know, it's kind of like a jersey that wants to be a shirt.
Wants to fit in with the other shirts.
It wants to have pockets on the arms. It looks fucking weird. Go back to the drawing board. His pants are ripped too. Shit's awkward, man.
Man, who picked this guy's clothes?
This shit is
Stevie
awkward
Wonder.
as fuck.
Stevie Wonder gave him his clothes.
Can I get a cringe, a hashtag cringe in the chat, man? Holy and that goatee, man. Anyway.
How do I look, Steve?
Yeah. Is this what I should wear out on stage? Fuck no. Go back to the dressing room. Oh my god. If they gave me one of those FanFest shirts, I would give it back to them, because I don't know, man. That's I don't need pockets on my shirt sleeves.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
you know, only so many spots, lots of Xbox fans.
Yep.
It's happened before. These things go quick, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, in fact,
Yo,
so
this
we're
dude
gonna
just looks
implement the random
awkward
drawing
sitting down with
approach
his
that we
ripped
did,
pants.
last
Just,
year,
I
because
don't
we
know,
wanna
man.
make sure that every fan has a chance to do that.
You should always wear knee pads when you go skating.
Why are ripped pants in like trendy now? Like,
And that
it's
random
weird.
drawing, the ticketing site will go available starting this
Yeah, I don't get it. You're paying for less fabric.
Yeah, my
You're
friend,
like, "Ah."
my friend came in town from Nebraska, and he was wearing some ripped jeans like that. I'm like, what is this? Like the style? I don't get it.
Yes, that is.
Okay, I'm just
Do you get a discount for all the holes?
So can I just go into a clothing store and just start ripping the pants? Man, I'm doing this for you guys. This is the trend. You know what I'm saying? Like shit.
Xbox employees, the briefing, a ton of stuff goes on. But I feel like FanFest is definitely known for one thing in particular.
You're an old bastard. That's why. Yeah, DJ, you're correct.
Secret gear backpack. Yes, absolutely. The secret gear backpack is something that we
For teenagers, not for men.
We got it right. Yes, and it's right.
Guess this guy didn't get the memo. Zingo.
Bazinga.
Titan is quiet as fuck because he got abducted by aliens.
Ta-da!
What is this dude even talking about? I've sort of like not been listening.
So this will be the exclusive backpack for.
Oh, that's a cool
Get
bag.
the Sea of Thieves backpack where you can put in your FanFest shirts with pockets on the arms. Zingo!
Yeah, I was gonna say it's looking kind of
The perfect piece of kit to transport your SAT edition console.
Yeah, put your Xbox One SAT edition in there. Transport it
Looking forward to showing you what's inside this.
to your local trash can. Just kidding.
Now, it's impossible for everyone to get to FanFest. As a matter of fact, did you know that the very first FanFest I snuck into, you know what I did?
I'm pretty sure that top he's wearing with that like that bloody skull with the glasses is a throwback to the in the Ghoulies game on original Xbox. It looks exactly the same. I can't remember what it's fucking called now. I'll find it now.
Titans playing Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
Fantastic Microsoft stores. So over 80 plus of them are going to have viewing events for the
Titan Drago. There he is. I heard him sighing.
I'm raging over here, dude. I'm fucking raging.
Dude, why don't you do what I'm doing? Just get it on YouTube on like your smart TV, so you can watch it on your TV, and then it won't mess up anything. Like that's what I did because mine was lagging like fuck when we started. I was like 20
his
seconds
internet's
behind.
cutting out like a mother. What causes those internet cutouts? Like I don't get it. Like is it just shitty wiring or?
I don't know. They've come out here and like they've come multiple times and like so it'll be fixed for X amount of time. Then it'll start happening again. It just gets worse and worse. Till you call them, they fix it. It's probably freaking net neutrality.
Net neutrality bullshit. There's something not working, all right?
There's a lot not working with this.
Do you guys have competition out there, or is it just the monopoly?
No, it's monopoly for sure. High-speed internet monopoly.
That's the problem.
Yep. Thought Google Fiber was supposed to make its way around, and America was supposed to catch up.
It's collusion. Yeah. Conspiracy.
Well, either way, thank you so much for joining
Man, this
us.
segment was all too long about shit that no one cared about. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Chris, again, thanks so much.
I'm glad we
For
got
more
to
on
see
this
his
year's
clothes,
E3,
though.
Larry got to sit down with Phil Spencer.
Phil.
I'm here with Phil Spencer, head of Xbox. Phil, great to see you.
Good to see you, Larry.
Earlier in the show, we had Chris Munson on talking about
Phil,
Xbox
don't drop the soap.
FanFest
Major
details coming
Nelson's
up
right
for
by you.
E3. Excited about that.
That's always a great time at E3.
I'll ask you about E3
He's got his
later
gloves
on in
and
the
everything,
interview, but
Phil.
right now I want to talk about
Keep
a couple
that soap
of things.
firm in
We
hand.
announced Game Pass Ultimate earlier in the show.
Game Pass
We announced
Ultimate.
the digital Xbox One S earlier in the show. We have the updates to Game Bar. Last month we had
Game
Kareem
Bar.
on showing xCloud. How do all of these pieces fit together in your mind?
Yeah, tell us, Phil.
It's a really good question. You know, we've said for the longest time that we put the gamer at the center of how we build our strategy and our services. We don't start with the device. We don't start with us. We think about our customer and what does the customer want. And we kind of are driven by this idea that as a gamer, you should be able to play the games that you want to play on the devices you want to play them on with your friends anywhere you go. And this is all part of that that strategy, that vision, that kind of goal that we have for players. You at the center, playing your games wherever you want to go.
You're talking about travel. I noticed, I was reading your Twitter feed, is that you tweeted out you were over in Asia recently meeting with game developers and partners. How did that go?
I always love my time in the studios. It's kind of how I grew up at Xbox and studios. So now when I get to go out to third-party studios, I get to play games early, talk to the studios about what they're doing. This is always an interesting time because E3's coming up. So we get an opportunity to talk about the things that we're going to focus on our stage at E3 and see if we have great content. Speaking specifically of Japan and Korea, which were the two places I was, I'm really proud of the partnerships that we've built over the last few years. Think about some of those moments. Finally had a Kingdom Hearts on our stage last year. The Dragon Ball announces. It's been good progress with those studios. I love it now because I go over, I'm seeing friends, I'm seeing people that I see multiple times of the year, seeing their games. I think we're going to have a really great show at E3 from developers all over.
Now I have to ask you, you've been traveling a lot, but I also look and I see you're playing Destiny 2.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
He's playing Destiny 2 at like 4 a.m.
I'm trying to get to 700 light level, and I'm at like 650 right now. It's just driving me crazy.
No.
Dude is a gamer, man.
How are you playing?
It's awesome.
So,
trying to get to 700 light level, dude.
I started taking
Phil is a baller, man. I love him, man. I think he's awesome. Like, I just can't wait for E3.
So you're beta
Everything
testing
he's planned since he started is just coming into effect. It's just awesome.
It's nice for me because we happen to be sitting on the same
All the
floor
haters and
on
the flip-floppers, they must be looking and being like,
so I can run down
damn
there
it.
and get new drops
What do we
from
do?
software all the time.
Right.
But it's been awesome. You know, I found probably half of my Crackdown orbs while I'm away from home, just kind of.
So that's why he was on
xCloud.
Xbox
I'm running
super
Destiny
late.
Strikes
I was
with
like,
my friends
why the hell
online,
is
using
Phil
xCloud?
on at like
it's just
4
a test
a.m.
setup.
my time?
Right? This is me playing the games I like to go play.
Right.
I have one server that is set up for me, so it's kind of like my Xbox in the cloud.
I can see the label. It says Phil's server on it, right in the rack. I'm sure that's what it says.
But, you know, figuring out latency, like when I was in Japan, I'm sitting there playing games. I'm in a hotel, 8,000 miles away from my server, and kind of what does that feel like? Because that's not our solution. Will be with the breadth of what we have in Azure, that data centers will be close to you to minimize ping time, to minimize latency that you have.
Oh my God,
but I will say there's something magical about taking my Xbox experience with me. Like when I boot up, it is me. P3 is on, all my friends are there, all my messages are there. I don't feel like I'm disconnected. I can launch my games.
He said he had the xCloud
I'm not
going,
having to kind of grind a separate set of characters or something. It is my state that I have when I'm sitting in my home.
What up,
I'm
Nintendo Direct? What's going on, man?
And I really love that. And I think for me, I'm a product person. I have to use the product and kind of feel, what do I like? What do I not like? What's my feedback for the team? So I'm glad I'm getting to do this. And I'm really excited about the rollout that we have coming.
So this is the last episode of Inside Xbox before we hit E3 2019. How are you feeling about it?
Rich people talk.
This is going to be an interesting one. Like we are
oh my God,
we're the platform holder that has a live stage show. And it's kind of just us this year. I feel the responsibility of that. I want to represent gaming. Right? I think it's an important time where the kind of larger community, news and other things are looking at the gaming industry at E3. I think it's a time we kind of
digging
pop
this Phil
above
Spencer
a lot of
interview.
The
This
noise that's out there. So
yeah,
I think the whole team, we're taking the responsibility of being out there, representing
just so
gaming and wanting to do a
enthusiastic.
good job.
We could literally talk about paint drying and it would get me
What's
interested.
excited about?
Sony's not going to be there, so we're going to have the stage all to ourselves.
I'm always
they
excited
need to
about
take
time
shots
with the fans
too.
and the community.
Take shots
Coming
on
out
that
on
stage.
stage, seeing faces in the crowd that I know. I'll get certain DMs and stuff.
Do you reckon
on
they
Xbox
should?
Live or Twitter
I don't reckon they should.
I would get a team of comedians and be like, hey, write me all these jokes. I'll write jokes for you, Phil.
I'll write jokes
for you. It's going to be a familiar place, but also a place that's, you know, kind of
I think Titan
right
just thought of his next video.
And definitely just the community is such a highlight for me at the show.
You should just call it what Phil should say at
E3. All the brand new studios, and we've certainly brought a few more into the fold.
They bring Titan out for a stand-up bit at E3 before the show.
Yeah, our new studios are going to have things to show, which is
should have had me perform on the One X
that nobody has seen before, which will be fun.
3 more studios on the way as well.
Later studios, Obsidian had a really great time with Outer Worlds at at Game Awards. Maybe we'll see some more of that. It's been nice that
Sing
we're starting
us
to
a
work
song,
with these studios. They've
PlayStation
come
isn't
in. I think
here.
they're starting to see how big of a deal E3 is for a platform, and I can see them getting excited about that. It's kind of different than being an independent studio, but it's going to be exciting to see the studios. It'll take kind of years to really have them fully integrated in and kind of delivering the same way all of the teams do, because different teams are at different parts of their development cycle. But I think it's going to be just really interesting to
when
have
are they going to
those teams
announce
showing up
when
this year
Ori
and
and the
starting to
Will
show
the
what
Wisp
they're
is
building
coming
for us.
out, man?
As we look at the calendar, I see we're just under 2 months from E3.
Don't say that. That freaks me out.
2 months for
just a couple
is this
months
what
away.
we're
less
wearing?
than 2 months till E3.
Is this what you're wearing?
My Game Pass?
Got your Game Pass check. Well, listen, I appreciate you stopping by and joining us here on Inside Xbox.
I'm excited to be on the show.
All right.
Great job.
Anyone dislike that man?
Thank you.
I know, man.
It is always great to hear
fucking
from
legs
Phil,
on
and we
Earth,
cannot
fair play.
wait until E3. Now, after today's show, stick around on Mixer.com/Xbox for an all-new episode of Mixer's own tips and tricks.
She needs to
Malik
wear
mentioned
some
they'll be talking
stockings.
about the latest
Yeah.
Forza and Sea of Thieves updates, all the news from today's show, and we need your votes for the greatest shooter of all time.
They are a great show, third best show on Mixer, as a matter of fact. Now, this episode of Inside Xbox may be coming to a close.
She's
but
got
you don't
some
wanna miss the
wide
next
set
one.
hips
That's
and
because, like
legs,
Kate's
man.
birthday,
I
it's kind
can't
of a big deal.
That's
Give
right.
me a
We're
different
heading to
angle.
Los Angeles for E3 2019,
skirt is
and we'll have
hideous, dark
complete
tan.
coverage
Come on.
of all the latest announcements and
I'm
so many
all
things
about
we're
the
not allowed to
thick
talk
girl,
about.
man. I'm
He
all
ain't
about the
lying.
white hip,
And
chunky
remember, the
legs.
Xbox briefing will be
I like
on
my
Sunday,
birds
June
with a
9th
bit
at
of
1 p.m.
meat.
Pacific time, live from the Microsoft Theater, where minds
She
will
is
be
bae.
blown in the future.
She's
And
curvy,
then we
man.
will
I like
return
it.
with Inside
Good on
Xbox
you,
the
Liv.
next
Good
day
on you.
on Monday, June 10th at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 3
Hey,
o'clock
just don't
Pacific
zoom too
from
far
the
into the
Microsoft Theater with
face
even
area because
more news.
she
Now, of
has a
course,
bunch of
Mixer will
makeup
be
on,
a
my
big
dudes.
force this year at E3 with great programming throughout the week.
I hate
Much
that.
of it coming from
I
their
have
Mixer
half of them.
That's right.
I have I grow my hair on half of my head. I
We'll
hate
see you in
that.
June. Thanks for watching.
Anyway, that's it. That's it, folks. So let's talk about this this interesting show. Not much.
All right, so it wasn't a lot of information, a lot of data. Yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting. They're not gonna. I was surprised they had Phil Spencer on it. What do you guys think? I was surprised they even had him on there.
No, that was probably the favorite part of the show for me, honestly, because whenever you get a chance to hear from Phil, I'm a big fan of Phil. I know that you know, Welsh was talking about it and stuff, but man, what an L. What an L.
Well, the funny thing is the haters, PlayStation fanboys and all the other people that hate Xbox are all going to be like, this was the worst Inside Xbox ever. It's an L, you know, and all they did was announce this terrible sad edition. So, I mean, I could see it coming already. And, you know, there is some truth to it, but it's like, I mean, fanboys just tend to, you know, blow the negatives out of proportion. It's like we're close to E3. If anyone was expecting anything crazy, I think you're what you know, what crack cocaine you on? You know, I've been saying that lately. That's like my new catchphrase.
No, to be fair, I've been very critical of Inside Xbox in the past, and like that show, like I enjoyed it for what it was. I've learned my lesson more than enough times now that I just got to remind myself that, like, this is not E3 V2 like
No.
It's something that we otherwise wouldn't have had. They don't even need to do this, but they put it together.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's good. I mean, like you said, the Phil interview itself, like that was worth.
That was worth the whole episode. You know what I'm saying? So when everybody's got to keep things in perspective, and I think we've had enough Inside Xboxes to know what they actually are, right? And I still do these live reactions because I just love hanging out with the community. Number one, I just think it's fun as shit, obviously. But second of all, we get some news. I told you guys it was going to be that price point, and people were telling me, so I feel like I got vindicated there. And I got
we did get the news. You're right. It just
Yeah.
wasn't good news this time, right? Like, we're used to good news. We're like, this is the first piece of really bad news we've had since probably the One X came out. Like, we've been like spoiled for like over a year now. So
yeah, it's interesting, man. I don't know, man. It is what it is. It's just a never was at this point. No one's gonna buy that shit. I don't know why they came out with it, to be honest. I don't know if they just were at a certain point in the production of it and they're just like, hey, we're just gonna get it out anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just, you would think that they could take a little bit of a loss on there and kind of promote Game Pass more than they did. Instead of including 3 games to download, include like a 6 months Game Pass subscription or a year Game Pass subscription, because it doesn't make any sense to put games that are in Game Pass in there and you're trying to promote Game Pass, but then you're giving people games that takes them out of Game Pass. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, no, that is such a backwards, redundant ploy. Like it's like, oh, here's X amount of months of Game Pass where you get Forza, Crackdown, Gears, and with that we'll give you the code for Forza, Crackdown, Gears.
It's like all the shit you're gonna play on Game Pass, you can download it and not have to worry about playing Game Pass. It's like, what the?
You want Xbox Live with this new Xbox Fan Edition, right? Well, here's our bundled package of Xbox Live and Game Pass. That's so hilarious.
The only good news is, the only good news with that, what I just said, is the fact that said person who's frugal and clever could buy that bundle, use the Game Pass code, and sell the digital codes off and make like a little bit of money. Like, obviously, not much, but
I think they come preloaded on that, so I think that's going to spoil that for people as well. Like, I think they're already
you don't think they thought of that well?
Yeah, loaded onto the console. They're like, people are going to sell this shit and make a profit off us? Hell no. You know?
We totally fucked you now.
You don't get shit.
You think you had an option? Hell no.
Let's try and think about this, all right? Because you can't tell me you are in the boardroom at Xbox and anyone, you can't tell me that they're saying this is a positive, good thing. You can't tell me this is going to push consoles, right? You'll never sell that to me. So I got to keep thinking like it's about something else. It's not about this. This has to turn into the streaming box. How else could you, like, and this is me reaching. Yeah. This is me reaching for something positive out of a really, like, I feel like a Sony fan today. Like, I'm just reaching for something positive out of this negative situation.
Just remember, when people tell you that you say nothing but good things and you're just a fanboy, just be like, all right, this is whatever the timestamp is on here, someone find it and be like, Titan Drago is saying negative things about Xbox during this, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you got to call it how it is with these consoles, you know, like the PlayStation 5 specs reveal. I thought that was a very positive thing. I was all about it. I'm telling people I'm going to get PlayStation 5, and people just love to focus on things that they love to, like, they'll pull shit out of their ass and say, hey, you know, Salty is just always negative about Sony, or, you know, Titan Drago is just an Xbox fanboy. But it's just like, they love to just pick and choose, right? This is gaming, and we keep it 100. It's just like, if something is stupid, we call it out. It's like, if something's good, we call it out. You know, you got to keep it real, and that's just the way it is in this community. It's just, we're gamers at the end of the day, and this is just, it's not a good thing. It's not planned properly. Like, we dissected and tore apart the games they included as, you know, quote unquote reasons why you should buy the system. It's like, you guys are counteracting everything you're trying to do at Xbox. It's like, you guys need to get something with a clearer vision, a better PR department, and then better planning. If this would have came out a year ago, and it would have been cheaper, and it would have been, like I said, bundled with a year of Game Pass, and you call it something else.
A year ago, I think they're like 3 years too late on this. Just, like, a year ago, the One X came out, man. Like, they're multiple years late on this. And you brought up a good point. Talking about the next generation of consoles. and I lost my train of thought. So keep going, and maybe it'll come back.
You brought up a good point, but the brain.
Keep going. It's gotta come back to me.
No, it's just and then I got some people in the chat that are saying if you're not going to buy one, why do you care? It's talking points. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't purchase a certain game doesn't mean I can't talk about it, or it's for the pluses and the minuses, right? It's not like a bubble where you get all pros or all cons. You're gonna get everything when you come here, right?
It's a good question in its own right, I guess. Why do we care? But because we care about the Xbox brand. We're Xbox. I'm an Xbox fan. I care about everything that happens to the brand. I care about the positive things and the negative things. I care about the way the brand looks to people. I care about the fact that so many people just hate Xbox. I care about that. Why? Because it doesn't make sense, because they have all these great deals, all these pro-consumer options, and people still harp on Xbox. They still find the one negative at the bottom. They'll find the needle in the haystack at the bottom of the haystack somewhere just to hate on Xbox. I care about that. But this is what we talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Philly, it's all good, dude. I was just saying in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not good planning in our opinions, and I'm trying to find a direction here with Microsoft and Xbox. I'm trying to find the reasoning behind this console, like.
Well, it's just like Titan said earlier about reaching, obviously, like we were saying a moment ago, this has to be the streaming box, or blah blah blah, and I'm just thinking, like, as far as I'm concerned, from what I heard between reading between the lines through the grapevine, the rumor mill, and certain things that were leaked even a few years ago, I just anticipated the streaming box, the xCloud box, the what is it called, the Maverick, to be like a deck of cards size thing, like a dongle, something you just slot into, which leads me to believe that even more. No, I still think that is going to be the case, and that's sort of what leads me to believe that whatever this thing is just a half-assed attempt at fooling the casuals. And
I just can't wrap my head around that. I just can't buy that. I kind of agree with you, but I'm having a tough time buying it. You're forcing it down my throat. Stop making me buy it. Well, stop.
Free Jack. All right, everybody. Here's the deal. It's a test run, but when you screw your test run out of the gate, it's like, how are you gonna even crunch any of these numbers and call it a test when you screw the pooch out of the gate? It's like these numbers aren't gonna make sense. Because even if people don't buy this, if you would have marketed it correctly and brought it out at the right time and the right price, it would have sold. So if you get poor numbers back, then you say, well, the market's not interested in having a diskless version of our consoles, and that's not the case. If you brought the correct proposition to them and said, hey, this is the right value, this is why you're going to be buying this console, I think there would be a market for it. But when there's poor planning, it doesn't make sense, if that makes any sense to you guys whatsoever.
Yeah. Here's my point about your
$50 price drop, though, is not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. If they want any traction with this fucking white brick, they literally need to, it needs to be 100, a nice $100 gap, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it will happen, but they should. That's what they should do.
You're literally. Go ahead, Titan. Go ahead.
Here's my problem with your deck of cards streaming box. Okay, here's my problem with that. That thing is gonna offer next to no power, right? It's nothing strong's gonna be in that. Well, the 1S isn't that powerful. Why can't you just push a system update out, right? Some type of firmware or something that turns that thing into a stream. That's what they have to do with this. I can't get over it.
All right, so usually I can see, in my head who this is for, the market for certain items. Like when you come out, because in past generations, they come out with iterations of consoles, like this is the slim version, or this is this. They have a bunch of iterations that they come out with, right? This is the mid-gen refresh. This is the Xbox One X. When I see the Xbox One X, I can say, yeah, this is for people that want an upgraded console. They want more power, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like, man, how do you sell this like value? You're literally telling someone to give up a 4K Blu-ray disc drive, give up all their physical media, and for a measly $50 discount, man, and it looks no different from the other console. It doesn't look unique at all. Because they've even made fun of it in that little spot where they're putting a piece of tape over the disc drive, right? Like they're making fun of it because literally that's what it is. It's like this plastic box so that they sealed it up with plastic, and you don't have a disc drive there. And for a company that's saying that we want to give gamers the most options possible, well, you're taking away options and you're not really providing any value in return. I mean, you're taking away people's options to buy physical media and trade in their discs and saying, hey, you get this $50 discount. Congratulations, you know. So
I remember what I was gonna say. So it was about the marketing next gen. Like you said, this thing was poorly marketed, this and that, and I agree. Like this is like it's getting thrown out kind of on the street. It's like surprise. Here's your tuna surprise for the day. And all right, so my thing with Xbox is my biggest problem with Xbox is the marketing. If they don't hire someone with marketing degrees and put them on a team and have them do work, then I don't know how they're like marketing still works this day and age, people. Like it still works. Okay. Someone,
yeah, like love it or hate it, but like Sony has quite literally taken the crown when it comes to marketing. And not only have they taken the crown, they have led by example. And I'm not being funny, agreeing with you, Titan. I think that the team over there at Xbox, who are like meant to be doing the marketing stuff, what's his friggin' name? I forgot his name now. Oh, the bloody bald guy. What's his name?
Bloody bald guy.
I'm having a brain fart. But the marketing team, the head of marketing and stuff, like honest to God, like
Greenberg.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I said to Boom a few weeks ago. Bald guy. But I said to Boom the other week on the Xbox Factor, shameless plug, that like they need to just get some young blood in there. They need to get some new people, fresh. They need to just drop whoever they've got, because the marketing has been fucking disgraceful this generation.
Like I have no marketing experience, but I guarantee like I've had people come up to me and like random tweets like, could you do better? I could do better in marketing than these clowns for Xbox. That I promise you.
So it's weird that Sony has this knack of always undercutting announcements for Xbox, and I don't know if it was planned or not. I don't think that, you know, maybe they even give a shit about the Xbox Maverick, as we'll call it, the SAT edition. But it's weird that the announcement with Sony's PlayStation 5 specs comes out in the morning before they come out with the price point of the SAT edition, and it completely undercuts anything that would have been momentum wise for this console. Not that it would have had any to begin with, but
it's almost like this was a test, wasn't it? Like this Inside Xbox, you got a point. This Inside Xbox was a test.
They do it all the time, though. Like, trust me, like in this limited amount of time that I've been doing the YouTube space, it seems like Sony has this knack for always undercutting announcements by Xbox. And not only that, Sony comes out with a banger announcement and then fucking Xbox shits the bed with a poor announcement. And that's usually the way it goes, and that's the way it went right now.
And this one was blatantly obvious too. Like 8 hours ago, like.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
because it's like it's out of nowhere too. Like, I don't understand why PlayStation just chose some random day to come out with this information. Like, hey, this is the information on the PlayStation 5. It's like, well, why now? Why this day? It's too convenient to have it where they come out in the morning before Inside Xbox is going to be giving information out on the SAD. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting, but I don't know.
Is it too late for an April Fool's joke?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
is it too late? I'd love it if they just went like, you know, like obviously, like, you know, they just put a tweet out tomorrow like, we were kidding, guys.
So So my question to you is, what is PlayStation gonna do 8 hours before the night of E3 or the day of E3?
I'm sure they gotta release the whole, have a press conference before Xbox does theirs. I don't know, man.
Exactly. I wouldn't put it past them. They're so dirty, but you know what? That marketing team is good. You have to give credit where credit is due.
Oh mate, I've been commending them for so long. Like I every opportunity I get, I'll never hide it. Like Xbox need to be taking notes, because what has quite literally won PlayStation this generation, and I mean it now. Like I'm not saying they haven't had a good lineup of games or any of that, but what has like literally won them this gen is their consistent and overwhelming amount of marketing. Like you literally can't get away from it. Like it doesn't matter if you're on YouTube, doesn't matter if you're in the cinema, doesn't matter if you're watching the football, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. Like fuck, I was on my Game Boy the other week and somehow a bloody PlayStation ad came up on my Game Boy.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I agree they're a great marketing team. They're fantastic. But I do not agree with a lot of their marketing tactics, some of their strategies, that the whole for the players. Like, if you're going to make bold statements, you have to back them up. They don't always do that. They just come up with these great statements like, you know, and when it comes to next generation, they're gonna use, I guarantee their marketing team is gonna use the key phrases of next gen, like ray tracing and this and that. You know, they're gonna be really pushing, like Cerny said, they're gonna be pushing the SSDs and stuff. They're gonna know, their marketing team is gonna know how to push that, and Microsoft's marketing team will probably flop. They'll probably fail, so that will give them a heads up on that. Yeah. I could see that coming right now.
I'm seeing some people in the chat talking about The Last of Us 2. Mark it down, just like this announcement was made about PlayStation 5 not coming out in 2019. The same is going to hold true with The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, any of those other than, you know, the ones that Death Stranding's not coming out in 2019. So mark it down. Those games aren't coming out. So I don't know what kind of announcement you would be looking for at E3. I mean, if they had information to get out, they would have been at E3, you know what I'm saying? So who knows what kind of things they could do to undercut Xbox's E3, potentially, I don't know, a release. I don't know what they would do, because you can't really give a release date on the PS5 and not have a conference for it. That's just kind of silly there, you know? So
I genuinely think, and this is like straight, you know, Last of Us and Death Stranding mentioned, games that have been announced for years and they're still in development. Classic Sony. Like I'm not knocking it. It is part of their marketing, how they roll, and it does work for them. They announce games years out. I wouldn't be surprised if that's in fact how they undercut Microsoft, whether it be an hour before the show or the day before the show. They'll just upload a video on their YouTube channel or something. I don't know, like a 20-minute video, and it'll just be a reel of like games that like yet to come out, like Death Stranding being one of them.
Yet to come out.
and they might even drop a couple of new ones, like, oh, and this, and you know that like the PlayStation community will run with it and be like, oh my god, they won, they weren't even at E3 and they still won. And it's like, well, all they've done is, you know, saved a lot of money by getting a stage and all the lights and all the bloody montages, but all they've done is just show you games that are 10 years away from being fucking out. Like,
So Michelle in the chat puts a good point out there, because I remember Cerny talking about rapid pack math and talking about how much that was going to take the resolution up to some bullshit number and stuff. So yeah, could he be, you know, putting smoke and mirrors up for some of this stuff? Yeah, he could.
No, I'll tell you exactly what the rapid pack math was about. It was about, they knew they had how many teraflops? 4.2 teraflops.
Yeah, but he was
whatever.
like, yeah, this rapid pack math's gonna get this up to like fucking 8 teraflops.
Yeah,
right,
8 teraflops. My butt.
my butt.
And yeah, as he chokes on whatever the hell he's eating there.
I love how people are saying that the PS5 will have 8K. It's like, Fucking hell, 4K.
Let's talk about 8K real quick, guys. All right, first of all, you know how much horseshit 8K is right now? It's like you're selling ketchup popsicle to a fucking person that has white gloves on, right? Major Nelson. It's just, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? We're not even the adoption rate of 4K is not even at 50%. All right, and it's a slow adoption rate. Like, no one really gives a shit at this moment in time. The price is dropping for 4K. Yes, do us as the hardcore care about 4K? Yeah, I mean, it looks good on my TV when I'm playing games, but programming for 4K is still lagging behind. People still rocking those 1080p TVs. So then we're talking about fucking 8K, which to take full advantage of an 8K television, your TV would have to be the size of a fucking billboard. Like, where are we going at this point? I mean, why stop at 8K? Let's go to 64K. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know. And the thing is, right, even if, and this is, guys, in the chat, everyone, fucking listen to me now. Even if the Anaconda and the PS5 are confirmed they have 8K output, it will deliver 8K.
Hey, first of all,
you know, like even if they did, like, there's not enough out there. Like, there are 8K TVs, but they're just like ridiculously overpriced. And frankly, when it comes to 8K, like the 8K TV, it's like the 3D TV all over again. They're just blowing their load early. It's like, we will get there one day.
So,
but 4K isn't even as mainstream as it should be right now.
A response to the I don't know what your name is. Sony is pushing 8K TV, so blah blah blah. TVs will upscale content to 8K. You can't stop progress. Who says I'm trying to stop progress? I'm all about tech, my dude.
All right, but there's a very big difference between
what I'm trying to tell you is, all right, there's a certain limit to where we go with technology, and it's just useless to be going further and further. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a certain resolution, you're going to see benefits of that. It's like having a 4K on your fucking on your cell phone, right? You have a 4K screen on your cell phone. How much are you going to see in that very limited amount of space? It's about a certain amount of pixels in a certain area, right? A density area there. Maybe we should focus on getting the frame rates consistent or other things. It's just the technology. It's just like 8K. It's the amount of adoption rate. It just seems like a big ass waste to me, man.
Yeah, you might as well be selling self-contained spacesuits, because that's going to be more useful than 8K. It's going to be,
I think it's a buzzword. It's obviously a buzzword more than anything. It's like, oh, we're not going to just do 4K. We're going to do fucking 8K in both eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's it's like, come on.
And there's a huge difference between upscaling to 8K and actually rendering a game in 8K. It's two different worlds. Upscaling is just stretching an image out. That's like, it's nothing. It's just stretching your image. It's actually making it a poorer image quality when you upscale to whatever TV, because you're upscaling to whatever the game was rendered at. If that thing can only render at 1400p and you're upscaling to 8K, that thing's gonna look like trash.
It's just, I don't understand it. And obviously it's a buzzword for these people, because it's like, oh, 4K is not enough for you motherfuckers. Let's get 8K. 8K is what's the future. And it's just like, dude, we're not even at 4K yet. You know?
I know.
Let's get to 4K first. Let's try that.
Calm down with the 8K talk. Let's calm down with that.
No, I completely agree. I like, when it comes to like the Xbox Anaconda, as someone who is, you know, hoping it wows me enough to put that kind of money down, because at the moment I'm so happy with my One X, so I'm not going to be easily swayed. When it comes to the Anaconda, I don't want them to be fucking tarting around with 8K, man. I want them to literally smash 4K, 60 frames, boom, boom, across the board, consistently.
Yeah, that's all included. And Eddie, good points. You know, it's like people focus on resolution too much, man. Ray tracing is one of the things, and shout out to Dealer Gaming. He's one of the first in the world that was talking about ray tracing and the fact that it was going to be possible on consoles, and people were laughing at his shit and all this other stuff. But recently there's been stories revealed that they're putting in updates to implement ray tracing on as low as a GTX 1060, and that's the card that I have in my current system. So if they can do it on that, they're definitely going to be doing it on consoles. And the ray tracing stuff is the implementation of that. That's what's going to make the lighting and all kinds of effects look more realistic when you're looking at the image. And then you're talking about frame rates and all that other stuff. That's going to be the next level stuff, you know. So
well, I got laughed at too in November of 2017 when I called the next generation Xbox to contain SSDs. Yeah. I called that, but well, apparently what I didn't call was PlayStation apparently gonna have a next generation console with SSD. Yeah. That one I did not call. That one I did not see coming.
So how are they putting all this shit into this box and it not gonna be over $500, man? Shit.
Great question.
SSD, badass fucking, you know, GPU, higher CPU. Like, it's like you start adding up all this stuff, and it's like, all right. I mean, something has to give. I mean, either the release date is going to be in 2021, or if you wanted to get this in 2020, you're looking at minimum $500. You know what I'm saying? So,
and the rest.
Yeah, it's, man, it's crazy. So what
I said in one of my videos that PlayStation needs to shock the world and take a heavy loss. If they
take a loss, that wrap up the generation. Like if they come out and take a loss and Microsoft sells theirs full price and there's an extreme difference price wise and the tech's similar, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I was texting you, Titan, I said the key parts of this next generation going forward is if the power is similar, then the price point is very important. The release date is very important. And then your launch lineup is very important. So what games are you launching on your system? And that's why specifically Halo Infinite was pulled back for the release date to the next gen, is because I think that they, you know, kind of crunched the numbers and said, okay, next gen, we need to have a good launch lineup to compete with PlayStation, you know?
Yeah, I believe.
Oh, here's my thing.
Oh, well, sorry. I just quoting someone from the chat, Timothy Dixon. He said Sony cannot afford to take a loss. Surely, I was thinking exactly the same thing. I think,
yeah.
Oh, I honestly, I mean, like, I think out of the two companies, the only one that would take a loss, if it meant like grabbing the market, would be Xbox because they're financially capable of doing so. Sony, if they take a loss, I think it could backfire. Like, I mean, this isn't 2013 anymore, and frankly, speaking of 2013. They did what they did with the price cut on the day, and it undercut Microsoft tremendously. And they've just gone from strength to strength ever since. And I know for a fact that if Phil and team are at all clever, they have remembered and not forgotten that day, and they don't want a repeat of that. So I wouldn't be surprised if the machine was worth like 800 or whatever, or however much, just determined by the specs, and then they sell it at a considerable loss. But the sweet spot, like I've said, I don't think it'll be any less than 600, maybe 550, 600. I don't know. But
all right, so we're like hitting on like a few different topics that I need to talk about now. Thing is, if I was in the boardroom of Sony, I would absolutely take a loss on selling these consoles. You know, you're not going to have the power narrative. That's a guarantee pretty much, right? So if you're not going to have the power narrative, you need to come out first, and you need to take a loss. So it's better to take an L on the console itself, where you're only going to lose $50 to $100 each console, right? Than lose out on that potential customer that instead buys an Xbox, where they're no longer on your ecosystem. A person on your ecosystem is much more valuable than you losing you taking a short-term loss on selling a console. That is what a lot of people don't realize. Now, the other thing I need to talk about is the release date of the PS5, because Salty, you started talking about that. So I don't see how this thing can release in March. Do you? I don't. Like, where's the game? Like you said, where's the game?
March 2020.
The next March, yes.
So yeah. So March 2020, right?
Yep.
Man, it's just it's all interesting because if they're having their launch lineup, if they're pulling back release dates, I can see them, you know, Last of Us 2, if that's coming out, they can, you know, put some of those games in there and have them as launch games. I don't know at this March date and time frame. There was a graphic put out on social media where the only time that these two companies have released their consoles at the same time was the release of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Every other console release has been different. You know, they come out at different times, and I think that's going to be the case for this. And honestly, what would you guys think? Do you think Xbox is going to pull first, or Sony's going to be pulling first? Like, I can honestly see Xbox coming out with their consoles in the like the November range of like, I don't know, like it seems like the holiday of 2020 would be a perfect time period.
Yeah.
Christmas time, boy.
But if Sony releases theirs March of 2020, right? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. There's a good amount of time. There's like 8 months in between that, right? March, April. Yeah. There's like a big amount of time there. So where they could, it's just, do you think it would be an advantage to release earlier or later as the console?
Now,
like,
that's a good question, because if you're Sony, I think that would be an excellent time to jump in early. They'll you know, when the 360 came out, it came out way before the PS. Like, that was huge. That got Microsoft in the game, right? It got them a huge jump on that whole generation, right? I think if Sony did this, man, that would be really, really good.
Yeah,
it would behoove them to do it. I mean, it really would. The only thing is the game, so they're not going to have the launch games, which they're used to, because the PS4 didn't launch with any games. But this time, at least they got backwards compatibility to tote this time going around, right?
Well, that's huge. You know, the confirmation that they're going to have backwards compatibility. I've been talking about that. Like, I've debated whether or not to get a PlayStation because I really want to play some of the games. But this late in the generation, and then with this announcement of backwards compatibility, it just behooves me to wait, and some other people. Now that they're going to have backwards compatibility, you have a console that is extremely powerful, you know. And that was a huge announcement. And what else? The PSVR, how it's going to be compatible with the new system, so you don't have to upgrade or whatever. That's going to be key, because I've said before, you know, there's certain features that set these consoles apart, and I think one of those is virtual reality. So the VR system, first party, especially since you can bring your VR with you. If you have a PSVR from this gen, you could take it to PlayStation 5 and you don't need to buy another unit. I think that's going to be a selling feature for PlayStation, because Xbox won't have that. And I've said my piece on VR, but it is a selling feature for the console, you know. So
for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
I mean, like, odds are, I think that the specs of both Anaconda and PS5 are going to be pretty damn fucking close. I'd be surprised.
Be really close. Yep.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if there was a really big gap. I mean, it'd be so easy for me as an Xbox fan to be like, oh, the Anaconda, man, it's just going to take a large steaming dump on the PS5.
No.
It's like, no, let's be realistic here. I mean, you know, diminishing returns and all that stuff, you know, they gotta put X amount of money into like making the thing with the promise of making it back. And I just think they can give us a powerful system without overcompensating. And with that said, I just think it's going to be a borderline the same. They're both with AMD. They obviously know what each other are doing. 4K, you can't, like we've just discussed, you can't really go any bigger than 4K. 4K 60 is the goal. Both systems are going to be aiming for that. All it's going to come down to, as I just alluded to, like both Anaconda and PS5 are pretty much going to be neck and neck when it comes to the power argument. It is just going to come down to, when it comes to the success of the releases of these consoles, and whether people are willing to wait. Like you say, there's a few months between them, or a month between them, or even nearly a whole year between them. I don't know. But it is going to come down to the launch lineup. And frankly, looking at the acquisitions from Microsoft, I got to be honest, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what's going to be, because we know Halo Infinite, like for me as a Halo fan, Halo Infinite alone is making the Xbox Anaconda as a launch, as a launch title for that system look very appealing to, I imagine, a lot of people. and then you've got over at PS5 Last of Us 2 and Death Stranding. You know, I mean, there's definitely more on both sides of the fence that I haven't mentioned, and when it comes to Xbox, there's a lot of hidden projects behind the scenes because of all the acquisitions. It is literally going to be a case of who's got the better deck, who's got the better hand, like, you know, when it comes to like releasing the games on the day, you know.
It's going to be a tough sell though. Like if you can imagine for a little bit here, all the people that are in the PlayStation ecosystem, the PlayStation 4, since they're announcing backwards compatibility, literally all their games that they bought are going to go with them. So how do you convince those people to abandon all of that and come over to Xbox? You know what I'm saying? It seems like PlayStation's in the perfect position to keep their margin right now, because it doesn't seem like they're going to lose much, because they're going to have the power, they have the games on lock, backwards compatibility is going to keep people in the fold. It's just I don't know. You're gonna be telling me that someone's gonna switch over from PlayStation to Xbox and completely leave that ecosystem and all their games. That's a tough sell, you know.
To be honest, it boils down to what me and Boom. I'm sure you guys have said it as well, but like me and Boom on the Xbox Factor, shameless plug, I've said a few times before, is basically like what PlayStation has done this gen. And what I fully expect Xbox to you know, absolutely force next gen is, with what you're saying, the casual, you know, it's the main focus has to be the casual market. Like when it comes to the hardcore market, people like yourself, me, and whoever else, like whether you're a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy, if you are invested into an ecosystem, you are not going to be easily budged. It would take a hell of a lot, I imagine, for you to think, do you know what? Xbox, it's been we've had a good time, but I'm moving over to the PlayStation. I'm starting again. I'm going to be invested. Like that doesn't happen like very regularly. But the casuals now, there's really no preference. Like I know plenty of people who just, they don't give a fuck. They still got their Xbox One fat and they're playing on a fucking black and white TV with rabbit ears. Like they don't fucking care.
Yep.
They just go where either their buddies are or where their games are or whatever's got the best deal, the cheapest system. They don't care about the power. Like the Anaconda is going to be for people like me and you, the people who are invested in the ecosystem and want the next best thing. And then the Lockhart is where it's going to be the big seller. And that is going to be what takes either PlayStation and their next system to new heights, or the Xbox, or both. Like it really does come down to casuals and how it's marketed.
So real quick, do you guys see or can foresee PlayStation putting out multiple SKUs for their launch, or do you think that it's just straight, this is the PlayStation 5, this is the only option you get? Do you think that that's an advantage or a disadvantage due to the fact that Xbox is going to have two different options, a cheaper option and then one for the power enthusiast?
Yeah, more options is definitely the advantage. If they had two SKUs, that would be an advantage towards them. Like the after the specs release, I'm seeing a lot of parallels between that and what we've heard of the Anaconda, aren't you guys? Like I'm seeing a lot of Navi, a lot of the same Zen 2 architecture, a lot of the same stuff, SSDs now. So like so the price point is, as I'm really struggling that they're gonna fit that $400 price point. I'm really struggling with that. I don't think that's can happen. So maybe another SKU is how they would have to go, right? Like you can't let they can't have they ever sat by and watched Xbox do something and not do it themselves? No, they never have. Even they're doing this streaming thing, like they're so far behind in the streaming thing, but guess what? They're still going to try it. They're still going to do it in the future. They're just way behind. They're just behind the 8 ball. You name anything Xbox has done, PlayStation hasn't been far behind, because it's just smart. You just can't get left behind. That's why Xbox is pushing the gaming industry forward in so many different ways with Game Pass and all this stuff. And if you don't see that how Xbox has pushed the gaming industry forward, you really need to take off your fanboy goggles for a minute.
So The thing is when they announced the PlayStation specs, Cerny did, he said that they were the innovators, one of the first people to do the cloud gaming stuff, and they know how to emphasize some of their pros and their features and stuff like that, and it's true. You know, PlayStation Now, for the good and the bad, with their Gaikai servers, they were one of the innovators with cloud gaming. If you look at it that way, they were one of the first, you know. So he said in that interview, he says that's going to be a feature they're going to be looking at as well. So they start talking about all these things, and it's just it's weird to me to think that they're going to have this super powerful system with all these features, and it's going to be over $500 and not give people the option of having something, you know, else. I mean, there's the PlayStation 4 that will still be there, but there's going to be a huge gap, and there's the Pro. Okay, so there's going to be the Pro and the PlayStation 4 base model, and then you make this huge jump to the PlayStation 5. The gap is huge, and the price point is going to be huge. It's just going to be a weird thing for customers to be like, okay, I need to drop, you know, $500, $600 down. But I guess the base Xbox One with the Kinect was $500. So I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, oh, sorry, I'm terrible.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, PlayStation being PlayStation. I mean, like, you know, call me a prick for saying it, but they're arrogant. They are arrogant. They are an arrogant. They're an arrogant bunch, which leads me to believe that they're not really gonna budge. Like, they haven't budged once this fucking generation with anything. Like, it took God knows how much of campaigning across the board for them to just allow Fortnite to have a bit of crossplay. Like, they just don't budge. So with regards to their plan, even though I'll agree wholeheartedly that in any case, whether it's Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, or even this Google Stadia, like anyone who's competing, more options are better, more SKUs are better, because it targets every possible audience, from the people who can't afford to the casuals to the hardcore. Like, mate, like, that is the way forward, I think, in my opinion, and I think that's the best business decision. But I do not, as much as I think PlayStation should do that, I don't think they will. And with that said, Sony is going to be pushing the PS5 as their only SKU, like, out the gate. That's going to be at a very premium price because it's a premium product. They're going all in. So that is going to be neck and neck with the Anaconda. But then over there at Xbox land, you've also got the Lockhart, which is going to be the 1S at a cheaper price for people who want to get in, like as an entry model, or the casual market who don't give a fuck about the Anaconda. And then also, if there is any truth to the whole deck of cards streaming box, that's going to appeal to a lot of casual people and people who just don't care about the specs and don't care about having the best, you know, like resolution. They just want to plug it in and have a Raz on FIFA or whatever. Like, the Xbox are doing it well. I think that they're really setting themselves up for the best possible scenario here, with giving multiple options to the player base, from casuals, hardcore, and the penny pinchers alike. Whereas PlayStation, assuming I'm correct in saying that they are very, you know, they are very arrogant in their ways. They're very old-fashioned. They're probably most likely going to just present the PS5 as this big beast, which is cool, but it's not, it probably won't, assuming that the price is going to be, you know, what we all expect at a premium price. I'd be very surprised if they hit as many milestones on the unit sales front as they did with the PS4, because obviously the PS4, they sold at a ridiculously low price for what it was. It was a little bit more powerful than the Xbox One. They ran with that narrative, and it's just paid in dividends ever since. But this is a totally different game here. This is a different kettle of fish. This is not the same situation. It'll be very interesting to see how it is received by the general public.
Real quick, this is my honest opinion of what PlayStation will do, and it's genius. It's gonna damn near match the Anaconda. It'll probably be really close. The only like weaker part of it will probably be like a cheaper version of SSD, or not as good of an SSD as what will be in the Anaconda. That's what I'm thinking right now, right? But they're gonna take $100 loss on their $600 console and sell it for $500, and probably have that be the only the only SKU available. What do you guys think?
They have to. They're, like I said, those, you mark them down: release date, price point, launch exclusives, first party. Those are extremely critical. Now, if Sony can one up, like if they get to be like, hey, you come get, it's going to be a wash when it comes to power, and the Anaconda is supposed to be the premium console for Xbox, and they're offering at a lower price, man, that's a wrap, dude. Because
the thing is, the Anaconda will be stronger, but it's not going to be $100 stronger. You know what I'm saying?
No, the thing is I think that Microsoft has shown that they're not willing to take losses with their hardware. If they were, they would have came out with the Xbox One X at a lower price point. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. The sad edition would have been
the sad edition's another
called
example
the cheap
of it.
edition.
Yeah. So they had a chance to do it with this, and they didn't do it. So nothing that they've done has shown me that they're willing to take a loss for their hardware production. So whatever is going to be that price point for that Anaconda is going to be what it is. And then if PlayStation does determine, hey, we can undercut these dudes and come out with one SKU, just one model, and it's below the price and it's similar power, man, that's a wrap, dude. I'm telling you, it's going to be a bloodbath, to be honest. So there's lots of things going into this. It's not just kind of, it is very interesting, guys, like looking forward into the next generation. There's lots
and
of
this
things
is all
going
fluid. This is all subject to change too.
Yeah. But I got to ask though, Salty, when you say it's a wrap, it's a done deal, are you specifically just talking about like which one will sell more, the Anaconda or the PS5?
Yeah, the PS5. I'm telling you, it's It's just
no, that's fine, that's fine. But I just mean, like, are you at all taking into account that like the Lockhart is an option which is going to be significantly cheaper and has already been touted as more powerful than the One X? So it's still going to be a very fucking impressive piece of kit.
It's true, but it's in essence it's just a higher level version of the Xbox One X. You know what I'm saying? So that's been offered already. I don't really buy that too much, that people are going to be wanting to jump on board with that. It is an option to the people that have the Xbox Fat model right now, and there's a lot of people that have that.
Plenty of people that do that. That's what I mean. There's so many people who do still have a Fat model or a 1S, and they might be looking to upgrade, but they're like, hey, I'm not going to upgrade to the Anaconda. That's way too steep. But that 1S2 looks pretty good. That's decently priced, isn't it?
So what I'm trying to say is, like, it's just, you look at it from an outside perspective, and you're saying, okay, well, there's almost 100 million PlayStation 4s out there in the wild right now, of people that bought that product, and then you're talking about how many Xboxes that have been sold this generation. What are they at? 40 million, 45 million, 40 million, something like that. That's a pretty significant difference there. So you add backwards compatibility in there and all this other stuff. It's just, I'm trying to look towards, you know, trends of like what's going to bring people over, what's going to keep people in the ecosystem, what separates the two consoles, and it's just price point. It's just another example of like, but then you got to take into account, well, if these two don't launch at the same time, then the consumer base is going to have to make that decision for themselves. Like, they don't know how much the other one's going to cost. Maybe they do. I mean, if they announce the price point for these two models of the Xboxes at the upcoming E3, then PlayStation can undercut that. You know what I'm saying? It's just this back and forth, this game. It's a huge game.
It's crazy.
I have a question for you guys and the chat. If, like, just hypothetically, if PlayStation and Xbox are releasing on the same day at the same price, whatever price that might be, let's just say 600, like just to throw a figure out. Which one at this point would be more appealing? Chat, 1 for Xbox Anaconda, 2 for PS5. Guys, what do you think?
It's a great question, man.
Well, Xbox for me because of Game Pass. That's where my friends are. Game Pass. Game Pass is, if they're gonna be equal, if they're gonna be on the same playing field, then Xbox all day, no question. Everyone should say Xbox there. The only reason why you should ever say PlayStation is if your friends are on the PlayStation platform, because guess what? All the services are better on Xbox. The network infrastructure is better on Xbox. Streaming is gonna be a thing on Xbox. Like, there's so many more, like, there's so many more positives on the Xbox side if these things are equal. That's why I'm saying PlayStation needs to take a loss. What do you think?
I got to be honest though, with regards to PlayStation though, just before I let Salty speak, you raised a very good point, Titan, that I forgot to make a few minutes ago. But one thing that I gotta say that PlayStation really needs to do, like, it's one thing for them to concentrate on like making this beast console and the hardware and all that shit, bringing out good games. Sony, you do you, because you've done a good job so far. Not knocking you, but I really do think if they haven't already, because I'd be surprised if they haven't already, but they really need to go back to the drawing board with their network. They need to like close that shit down, remodel it, rebuild it. They need to. They have to. Like, they have to go all in, because you cannot like as the future progresses and with all this streaming stuff and like Xbox is fine where they're sitting, but PlayStation, if they want to catch up and be like, yeah, we're going to do an Xbox Game Pass service, an xCloud service, but for the PlayStation, they're not going to be able to. They'll be hanging on by fucking tape with their network they have at the moment. So that to me is their Achilles heel, I think.
Yeah, shout out to Gotham Guy with a $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Microsoft, the Anaconda shouldn't be more than the PS5, but if it is, I believe the big exclusive launch titles will still make the Anaconda a worthwhile purchase. That's a good point. So,
totally agree. Great point.
What you're looking at is the Halo Infinite, man. You're talking about that alone. I mean, is a
Halo launch title. That's huge.
That's crazy, man. Like, they're spending rumored $500 million. In the process of making this game. It's going to be unlike anything that you've seen before with a Halo game. The potential of an open world, the RPG elements, the everything, the games as a service, just bringing Halo back to where it is. I think that's the trump card right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, if you could bring back customers as making Halo good and bringing it and making Halo great again, per se, it's just like bringing it back to where it was before with the popularity. If you can achieve that, then you're going to pull some customers back over. You're going to say, hey, look at Halo Infinite on Anaconda with ray tracing and all this other shit. Like, if you could make that your showpiece and say, hey, this is a launch title, boom, that's a system seller, you know? So
yeah, I got to be honest. This E3, because we know Halo Infinite's going to be there. Depending on how they present Halo Infinite, I think will determine how many people will have in their calendars. Right, I'm buying the Anaconda. I need that. I need that game. I need that.
Hey, Mushroom Game, I appreciate your best wishes for our service-based console, quote unquote, but it will also be the strongest console. And you got to look at facts, Mushroom. You got to look at Microsoft has acquired all these new studios. Do you think that they're gonna be creating the same IPs? No, that's a ridiculous thing to say. They're gonna be making new IPs. They're gonna be it's been rumored that they're going to have more acquisitions at E3, and these are the huge things. And guess what? Those are in Game Pass day one, day and date. That's huge. You cannot overlook that. I'm sorry. You just can't. Why?
So what other games are we looking at? Probably a new Forza, right? So potentially Halo Infinite and then Forza, what is it, Motorsport 8? What are they at right now? Tons. We're like so far into it, I can't even keep track of it. What other launch titles for Xbox are we looking at? Potentially Ninja Theory's game could be one of those. Philly Eagle with the $5 super chat. I'm sure no one is saying Sony is bad. We are just saying we prefer Xbox, or at least that's what I'm saying. I gladly pay $60 a year for online security. That's a good
Absolutely.
point. You know?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's a big thing that these the PC elitists say. Oh, you gotta pay to play online. Well, hey, guess what? I'm paying that to not play against cheaters every game. I'm paying that to not have to worry about my Xbox getting hacked or my credit card information stolen. There's a lot to be said with that, and a lot of people miss that.
I mean, look at how many people pay a good amount of money to keep their identities secure. You know what I'm saying? They pay a certain amount of money a month to make sure that they're not getting identity theft and all this other, you know, because we live in this day and age of hackers and all this other stuff. Let's just be honest and straightforward here. People were getting their systems bricked on PlayStation because of infrastructure problems. So yes, there's still problems there. And I know the big hack that occurred was during the PlayStation 3 era, but still we're looking at Sony being far behind when it comes to the infrastructure for security and everything else. So
you've just joined, what was it, 2009 or 3? I don't even know how far back it was when we could change our name, our gamer tag. Like there's so much that they have to catch up with, and those people are at risk of losing their paid DLC. Like, I'm gonna make a song about it. I really am. It's coming out. I just don't know when.
Man, there's so many people talking to me about Crap Gamer. I don't know about Crap Gamer. He does his own thing. I did podcasts with him, but it's not like we play on an everyday basis, and I know what's going on with him. I mean, people decide what they're going to do on YouTube, and that's them. You know what I'm saying? I treat my channel the way it's been all the time. I call it the way it is 100%. I don't put on personalities or flip-flop depending on what's the popular story. I give you my opinion the way it is. It's going to be the same today as it is in tomorrow. Like, of course, people change with the times and stuff like that. But I mean, it is what it is. You guys could decide who you want to follow and et cetera, et cetera. But like I said before, I might be mainly on Xbox, but I'm a gamer. You know what I'm saying? I have a Nintendo. I play the shit out of my Nintendo. I'll get the PlayStation 5. If you guys haven't figured it out already, I just am a gamer. I don't give a shit about that. You know what I'm saying?
Comments on Crap, man. That's pretty funny, guys.
So fucking Titan and Welsh, don't get them started on Crap. I mean, it is what it is. Crap's a friend of mine because I did podcasts with him, but that's his business, man. You know.
I got no beef with the guy. I don't dislike him. I don't even know him, man. He does crack me up, though. I will say that.
He is funny, but I do dislike the clickbait titles. I do dislike one day he's like, "Oh my God, Xbox wins," and then the very next day, it's, "Oh my God, PlayStation wins." And I do not recommend this because
if you haven't figured it out, it's all about the clicks, man. So if you're falling for that trap, it is what it is. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
News ever.
You're glutton for punishment at this point.
So.
Xbox, the biggest news we've ever seen. You click on it, and it's just a video about Phil Spencer changing his fucking socks.
Rumple Foreskin with the $2. Appreciate you. So yeah, great. It's been a crazy day for news, man. We could talk about this for hours and hours. Is there anything we missed about the Inside Xbox episode? Not much there, right? Rob Ferguson was there. He was just talking about esports shit. I know a lot of people were kind of like hoping that they were going to show some Gears 5 stuff. I mean, at this point, people with this Inside Xbox stuff don't expect anything, and you won't be disappointed, you know, because when you hear that Rod Ferguson's going to be there, you're like, oh shit, they're going to show some Gears. Nah, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're saving all the big guns for E3, man.
Yeah, the Ninja Gaiden 2 shit. Look, man, that game looked phenomenal. Let me tell you, when I was seeing gameplay, it almost looked like a remaster to me, and I'm excited to play that. Like Ninja Gaiden 2, I'll pick that up. What else was there? Tons of cool looking controllers per usual. You guys were lost in the sauce with the chick that was up there with her hair and everything else, man.
It was kneecaps, baby.
Weird looking beards and beard spray. I can't think of actual like announcements they made because we were clowning the whole time, but
it was a smorgasbord of all kinds of different terrible.
The Game Pass Ultimate shit, they kind of brushed over that. I mean, it is what it is with that, right? We kind of beat that into the ground. I don't think that's kind of just they're not providing value for some of the shit they're announcing, you know? Like that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate thing, if they would have discounted that significantly, it would have been more of a feature and a selling point. And it's the same thing with, you know, the SAT edition. So it just seems like they're missing the mark on the price points to sell some of these features and stuff, you know? So
Yeah. On another note, though, I know you just said if you don't expect anything, you won't be disappointed. But E3 2019, man.
If you're like speaking of being disappointed, E3 2019. No, I'm just kidding. Welsh, what were you saying?
Honestly, man, I literally need to see Fable. I need to see it. God damn it.
Fable.
Oh man, I literally
don't. Like I said, Welsh, if you don't expect much, you won't be disappointed. All I gotta say to you is don't expect the Fable, dude. I'm just saying.
I think Fable's coming. I think it's coming.
So many people are blowing smoke up their own asses about Fable.
I think it's coming.
know you guys want it so much.
I really think it's coming.
That. I don't think it is.
I honestly do think it'd be incredible if it was a launch title next to Halo.
It'd be cool too.
A launch title would be a stretch, but I do think you will see something upon it. Like I think a launch title is a real stretch. Like I'm thinking
stretch.
I'm thinking at least 6 months after release, at least, if a Fable's coming out. If they're working on a Fable, but I think they're working on a Fable, and I think we will see at least a
so you think Playground's
teaser
working on Fable.
Yeah, someone is. Someone is.
Playground. I think Playground. I've been saying that for so long. I mean,
risk,
I
don't know if it's
fucking L.
It's a big risk.
I'll take that out too.
It's a big risk taking a developer like Playground that's been working on a racing game, and I know they're talented, but then giving them a historic IP and expecting them to deliver not only a successful version of that, but something that works and that it's evolved. You got to hit the comedy. It's just so many factors there. This closed down Lionhead Studios. Like, there's a lot of risk there, because like, what if they fail on the next Fable? I mean, you got your star developer
because they're under Microsoft's umbrella now.
No, it's not okay. It's not.
It is okay.
It's not okay for them to.
What I'm saying is they're not going to go bankrupt. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter if they're not going to go bankrupt. Like, this is one of your star developers that you acquired, right? Playground in the industry, they're one of the best. And then you give them a franchise, and they fucking take a big L and take a dump on Fable for the second time. They had to cancel Fable Legends, and they closed the studio down. And then not only do you take the risk, you're saying, okay, we're not going to let them do a new IP, we're going to let them do Fable, and then that shits the bed. It would be a colossal fucking egg in the face.
I do think, though, that Playground could deliver a very good Fable based off of Forza Horizons 3 and 4. Like, essentially, like, when you just look at Forza Horizon 4, the open landscape, the markers, the DLC they've done already, and, like, essentially, you just be swapping out the car for a fucking little man with a dog and a sword, and, you know, just traversing in these open landscapes. And I think they could do it. I'm not saying. Well, I'm not gonna. I'm like I said, I'm gonna try and compose myself. But I honestly do fucking need to see Fable, man, one way or another. But I do think Playground has what it takes if they wanted to. If it is them making it. And with regards to a launch title, if Fable is in fact being worked on, I reckon they've been working on it for a while. So I don't think it's a reach to say it's a launch title. I reckon it's been in the works for some time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's been in work for a few years already. Like I have a lot of faith in that one. You know, it's a flagship title. Fable is a flagship title. Like, fucking hell, they've brought back Halo under a new team. They brought back Gears under a new team.
That's a good point.
You've got Forza. Like, hell, like, fuck me, man. What is it so hard to believe? I'm not saying to you guys specifically, but is it so hard to believe that they have got someone, say it is Playground, or if it's not somebody else, already like fucking elbow deep in the development of a Fable game?
Hey,
I'm literally certain of it.
The chat's throwing down some facts, man. You guys are making too much sense, chat. All right, so first of all, I tried playing those Fable games, not digging them, not my bag. And Michelle makes a great point. She's saying, I'm sorry, but I don't remember Fable being a good game nor that popular. When did it become this revered franchise? A lot of people feel the same way. I know that really triggers a lot of you guys, you know what I'm saying? But it's weird that some of these franchises, like Perfect Dark, for example, Like, I don't give two shits about Perfect Dark or Battletoads, and people are putting them up on a fucking pedestal. Like, no one gives two shits.
Don't
about
compare Battletoads to Fable ever. I know you didn't do that, but just don't do it. Like, it triggers me, and you don't say, because I loved Fable, man. Fable was amazing to me.
Yeah.
And speaking of like the crap gamer and Fable Legends, like you were saying earlier, Fable Legends, because I heard it on Crossfire multiple times, and they just keep calling it the wrong thing. It was driving me nuts. It's not an MMORPG. It's not a MOBA. It was an asynchronous multiplayer game. Okay, it was when it was huge. It was when asynchronous multiplayer games was a big thing around the Evolve era, right? So that game, the reason why that game was canned is because it was bugged out to all hell. I actually got to play it on the closed beta or on the closed alpha, I think it was. That game was so bugged out, bro. Like it was unbelievable. I've never played a more bugged out game, and it had absolutely zero balance. Okay, like they had years of work to do on that game just in balancing alone. That's why that game was canceled. But that's not Fable, okay? Let's never compare Fable Legends to Fable ever again, because it's a Fable Legends is a never was. It just never came out. So let's just put that behind us, okay? Can we all just put that one behind us and just forget about it?
Can we just pretend like it didn't exist? I mean,
to be honest, like, yeah, I agree. And addressing the people in the chat who didn't like Fable or like, oh, when was it ever a revered franchise? Like, I think it comes down to like perspective. Like you said a moment ago, like there's people out there who bang on about Battletoads. I'm not one of them. I couldn't give a fuck. But there are plenty of people that grew up playing Battletoads that can be like, that are like, I can't wait for this shit to come back. For me, that's what Fable is to me. Like I was there when Fable 1 came out, and I was just like, my God. And then Fable 2 was fucking amazing. Still not as good as the first one. The first one's still my favorite, but the second one was fucking awesome. And even the third one, while it was definitely a misfire in a lot of ways, and you know, and it was nowhere near as good as the first and second, it was still a Fable game that I thoroughly enjoyed. It tried to do something different. It just didn't make good on all of the promises made by the man who should not be named. I can't even remember his name.
Talking about Fable? Were you talking about Fable 3? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Fable 3.
Yeah, I liked it.
Molyneux. He made
Peter.
mega promises that never. Yeah,
he
Peter
did
Molyneux.
that every game he was associated with.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
But like Fable has a lot of promise, and like I think if they did a spiritual reboot of the franchise, going back to its roots, like the original Fable game, but with like you know, but now like with the Sea of Thieves sort of like look about it, the textures, I'm sorry, man, it would be a fucking wrap if that was a launch title with Halo. That would, speaking of like sales and stuff, people would be queuing for fucking weeks to get their fucking copy. I know I'd be at the front of that queue. I think it'd be amazing.
If Xbox comes out at E3, they said they're gonna come out swinging. If they say Halo, the next Halo Infinite and Fable behind it, you sold 50 million consoles over the next year and a half. I'm telling you.
Hey, it's true, man. I mean, the main focus of that is that you need to have games. At the end of the day, it's all about the games, and you need to have games to push these consoles. It doesn't matter how many flops, you know, flippity flops you got. It comes down to the games, because the games need the power to run it, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it should be interesting going forward, but damn, we burned through time, right, guys? This was more, our podcast was more interesting than Inside Xbox ever thought of being, you know what I'm saying? And
maybe that's why we had such a good time with it.
So
we talk about just random shit afterwards.
Yeah, it's just I love the flow with you guys. You guys are my buddies, my Vikings pals, whatever.
That's right, we're the Viking brothers, ain't we? You can call us that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can roll with that. I can roll with that.
It's nice to be able to actually podcast with Welsh, because it's late over there. It's getting late over there. I appreciate him coming on. Usually, you know, with the Saltiest Gaming podcast, we're on at like what, 2 or 3 year time or something like that. So yeah. So it's nice to have you on. I love your takes for sure. Plug. Let's get to our outros here. I appreciate everybody, but for being here. I might cut this up as a podcast, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens, because this was a legit podcast at the end here. So appreciate all the super chats, all the, you know, everybody else that's been here, hit the like button, all that good stuff. So Welsh, what's going on with you and, you know, all your shameless plugs?
All my shameless plugs. Did I mention that I'm on the
Did I mention?
Yeah, man. Well, mate, I've had a fantastic time. I'm glad we did this. I've been meaning to jump on a live reaction show for a while. Hopefully one of these days I can jump on the Saltiest Gaming podcast again. Sacrifice some sleep, but it's always fucking worth it. But I am the Welsh Gamer. You can find me on YouTube, the Welsh Gamer. Videos have been tight as hell, but you know, it will happen. It'll happen eventually. In talks with Salty and Boom about a potential project, so I'll be hopefully announcing something at some point. Twitter handle is @thewelshgamer93. Feel free to DM me or anything if you want to chat gaming. And in terms of this week, the Xbox Factor over at Boom's channel goes live on Thursday at 5 p.m. BST, which is 12 p.m. Eastern. And I'm also going to be on this week's Crossfire podcast with Mooch, Boom, and
awesome
whoever else is on there. So catch me over on Mooch's channel if you want to see me ranting and raving. So yeah, that's all I got. No, cheers for having me, Salty. I had a wicked time. And Titan, my Viking brother, it's always a pleasure.
Hey, shout out to Michelle with the $1.99 super chat. Great show and lay off crap. I didn't say anything about crap, all right?
He didn't.
I took the high road,
I think
man.
you were the only one that didn't actually.
Took the high road, dude. He's a good friend. Like I said, he does his own thing, man. Titan, where can people find you, man?
Everything at Titan Drago, everybody. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because we got to get the heck out of here. I got games I want to play. And so everything at Titan Drago. Check my channel out. I do parodies and videos and stuff. Let's check it. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So anyway, I did a video about the announcement for PlayStation 5. Check that out if you haven't. Saltiest Gaming Podcast, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Have a great night. And as always, stay salty, my friend.